Amidst the deafening cheers of thousands of fans in the studio, the host's excited voice rang out steadily. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Tens of millions of viewers, hundreds of intense battlefields, and a series of classic turnarounds. Overcoming every adversity and brutal competition, the only champion to survive until the very last second. She didn't shy away. Instead of backing down, she confronted it head-on, and instead of hesitating, she surged straight forward. The host squinted at the scoreboard, took a deep breath, and shouted, "And finally, she has etched a legend from the virtual reality world into real life. Everyone, remember this moment. The first season champion of the streaming tournament, player Shin Hae-in. Reflex speeds faster than a blink, instincts that transcend mere precision, and an unprecedented physique that no one could ever replicate." With a pre-written, exhilarating script, the host effortlessly pushed the audience's emotions to a new level. She has transcended the boundaries of an ordinary gamer to become a legend. Player Shin Hae-in will conclude her journey on this stage to prepare for her debut in the professional arena. That's right, who will be the one to inherit this supreme glory in the coming season? 6 years later, in a luxury high-rise building located right in the heart of the bustling city, the reception area was, for some reason, more crowded than usual. Yet the vast research lab maintained its inherent silence, allowing the scientists to focus on their work. Suddenly, a large mechanical cocoon unexpectedly cracked open. The man lying inside had just opened his eyes when he heard a gentle inquiry echoing in his ears. "How do you feel?" Jihai looked excitedly at the blank expression of the person opposite her and continued, "It's been a long time since you last played a game, hasn't it?" Waiting for her to finish, Seo Jun opened his mouth to reply immediately, "It really does feel much less dizzying than before. I feel physically lighter too." A soft sigh escaped his lips, making Jihai unable to suppress a laugh. She didn't forget her job though and went straight to the matter she was prepared to discuss. "Could you come over here for a moment? This new generation machine is integrated with all our latest, cutting-edge technology to optimize performance. Thanks to that, even those with physical disabilities can experience it smoothly. Of course, in cases with a low synchronization rate like yours, Seo-jun, as long as you play within the prescribed time, you won't encounter any problems." Hearing that, he immediately looked up and asked, "How much does this type cost?" His direct question made Jihai hesitate for a few seconds. "Oh well that." Before she excitedly raised her hand to announce, "The price is 100 million won." The staggering number left Seo Jun frozen in his tracks. 100 million won. While Jihai was smiling shyly, wondering if that price was too much, he was busy contemplating his account balance and let out a sigh. Insufficient balance. Current total assets, 458 won. Jihai looked at his devastated face, not daring to let the awkwardness linger in the air any longer, and continued, "That's why I have this special offer for you, Seo Jun. Do you want to hear it?" Seo Jun walked slowly into the VR pod, a device that satisfies the aspirations of the new era by bringing virtual reality into countless different industries. But among them, the field that makes people the most crazy is definitely. The machine quickly transferred Seo Jun's consciousness straight into the dragon's head to deliver a top-tier knockout blow. The giant dragon rolled over and crashed to the ground, allowing Seo Jun a chance to catch his breath before landing back on the ground. Perhaps because of the ability to stimulate the nerves of both players and viewers, video games have always been the field that everyone loves most. With an overwhelming level of realism that makes people unable to believe they are in a virtual world, when the system signals the start, incredibly beautiful skills begin to be unleashed by the players. Seo Jun was drawn into that world as naturally as that, and the whole world exploded with a virtual reality gaming fever. However, Seo Jun had passed out right inside the pod before even a year had passed. It was all because the synchronization rate required to move in the virtual world like in real life was much lower than average, with his synchronization rate being only 10%. That uncomfortable truth made Seo Jun sit gloomily, checking the news on his phone while sitting on the bus. The pent-up frustration made the young man unable to stop a sigh. "I was just hopeful because they said this machine could play games regardless of a low synchronization rate. But no matter how you look at it, 100 million is still too expensive. Are they really that good at fleecing money? If I had known, I wouldn't have touched games in the first place. Now I keep craving the feeling of playing again. Seo Jun dejectedly rested his arm on the windowsill and stared intently outside. Unconsciously, he sighed wearily as a vague thought crossed his mind. Why did I get myself into this machine game thing back then anyway? At night in a dreary rental apartment, the host's cheering on the TV echoed throughout the space. A new record set this week, the first season champion in Korea, player Shin Hae-in, T-Woo, having just heard that, excitedly commented, "Damn, that's truly insane." The scale this time is huge. Even professional players currently competing are participating in this friendly match. Seo Jun, having just returned home, cleared his throat and asked, "What are you watching that you turned the volume up so high?" His sudden appearance startled the other. "Oh, you're back." This friendly match of the tournament is extremely gripping, man. Seo Jun looked at his friend's happiness, sat down next to T-Woo and chatted. "Is that tournament really that famous? They run ads incessantly all day." Unexpectedly, that question made the other clearly tense up. "Are you crazy? Why ask if this tournament is famous? Do you realize that asking that question might offend those who don't play machine games?" While Seo Jun was still confused by his friend's slightly excessive reaction. "What's wrong with you?" T-Woo was annoyed and started speaking with the tone of a die-hard fan of a streaming tournament. It attracted 15 million views in its first premiere. Just in Korea alone, an annual tournament attracts at least 1 million viewers. And if you count the international audience, this is a massive tournament with over 15 million views. Aside from professional tournaments, this is the most grand-scale tournament there is. Upon hearing that, Seo Jun blankly asked, "Usually, what kind of weapons do they mainly use?" Although he didn't understand what his friend's naive question meant, T-Woo still replied sincerely, "There are bows and magic too, but no matter what you say, using a sword is still the strongest." As soon as he finished speaking, he observed his friend's attitude. Unexpectedly, Seo Jun stood still, muttering like someone with his head in the clouds. "Using a sword, huh?" T-Woo, watching his friend look so vacant, irritably grabbed a handful of potato chips. "But it's not like you're good just because you hold a sword. Last year I also tried to swing a sword around, only to be eliminated in the qualifying round. And the result? I only got a crummy gray-tier item." He hadn't even had time to brag much before he nearly choked on his own spit due to Seo Jun's cold remark. "Oh, so that means as long as you're a streamer, regardless of whether you're famous or not, you can register to participate, right?" That trolling quickly made T-Woo go crazy and start yelling, "Hey, I'm pretty good too, okay? You have to know that without a reputation, getting a spot in the Alliance tournament is a real uphill battle, you hear me?" He didn't care and gently picked his ear, sighing, "Headache." Waiting for T-Woo to calm down, he asked, "But why are you suddenly asking about the Alliance tournament today? You usually don't even care about these machines or live streams." Seo Jun went silent for a few seconds before replying softly, "Just asking." Suddenly, the phone in his pocket started buzzing intensely. Seo Jun had just opened his phone when the question about Jihai's previous offer hit him right in the face. Memories of the morning quickly flooded into Seo Jun's mind. In the Alliance tournament organized by the Tourism Board, a new generation machine had been added to the reward list. "As long as you agree to participate in this tournament, I will make an exception and lend you a machine for free to use until the tournament ends." Jihai, seeing Seo Jun's sudden reaction, excitedly closed the deal confidently. "What do you think?" Returning to reality, he quickly asked, "How about I try participating in the Alliance tournament too?" This made T-Woo, who was distracted by the TV, go, "Huh, the Alliance tournament." A second later, he turned to look at his friend with an indescribable expression. "What did you just say?" Seo Jun naturally felt his friend's confusion but still gently replied, "I said I will try participating in the Alliance tournament. Don't you think that if I fight seriously, I could make something happen?" The laid-back look of the other made T-Woo let out a long huh. "You think the Alliance tournament is some national karaoke contest that anyone can just jump into? Where did you get that excessive confidence?" "I don't know." The cold words made Seo Jun sigh in frustration. While his friend wasn't looking, he silently retreated into his private thoughts. "I have thought about it a lot, about the real reason I crave returning to those machine games. I want to enjoy the glory I once possessed when I was the sword god one more time." Because his deep subconscious quickly took Seo Jun back to the moment he stood alone in the old forest. His sharp gaze suddenly flashed with a deadly image. Before his body automatically tilted, waiting for the parasitic enemies to rush at him. Seo-jun gently drew his precious sword, and then effortlessly handled that crowd of humanoid demons without a single hesitation. How could he ever forget the image of himself standing alone among the bodies he had just struck down? Seo-jun, the man once thought to be a loser, still held the memories from his past life intact. Whether Seo-jun wanted it or not, the memories automatically flooded back. A secret black market that only opens on the night of the full moon. Even at the bottom of society, Seo-jun was just an item waiting for someone to use. In his previous life, that slave was him. If that moment had truly happened peacefully, in a place without blood splattered all over the path, a strange man would have suddenly appeared to deal with the lowly slave trader. Everything happened in a flash right before Seo-jun's eyes. While he was still confused and didn't know what to do, that man spoke to him. "Hey kid, want to come with me?" If Master Hansuk hadn't appeared at that time, extending a hand to show rare kindness in that treacherous place, then the past of a genius saved from the brink of despair, along with the burden of a leader of the righteous path amidst so much envy and expectation. Or a sword god of the past would not exist. Seo-jun kept remembering the past, so he nodded and smiled like a madman. "Master, but what was the point of being a sword god in my past life?" Ti-woo stood outside looking at the other's state of being in a trance and irritably muttered, "This crazy guy." Seo-jun irritably dropped his voice to a sub-zero tone when turning to chat with his friend. "What did you just say?" Unexpectedly, Ti-woo wasn't afraid at all and raised an eyebrow in response. "I said you're a crazy guy. Spending money just to participate in a streaming tournament, does that sound reasonable to you?" His aggressive demeanor made Seo-jun look sternly. "What are you making such a fuss for? Why is it not reasonable?" Ti-woo went silent for a few seconds to gather his thoughts, then lashed out. "Do you even know how strict the requirements for joining the Alliance tournament are? Unless you're already famous, it'll be a long time before you even get to touch it." Ti-woo looked at his friend's blank face and couldn't help but sigh and lecture. "You think being famous is easy. There's the skill of talking, smiling at the end of every video, like comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and being quick-witted in the game." As he spoke, Ti-woo pretended to dance around to illustrate his point. Even if Seo-jun didn't want to listen, he kept posing and acting up. The humor. "And you also have to know how to edit videos. Let's say you can do it all, there are still plenty of kids who fail because no one watches them. And you've never even touched a virtual pod before, so how are you going to play?" The sharp argument made Seo-jun confusedly look at the machine behind his back. When he cleared his throat to confirm one more time, "Is there no way to rise up purely by ability?" That simple question made Ti-woo laugh and mutter, "This guy is truly stubborn. Actually, there is a way. Play like Shin Hae-in, the person hailed with the most flowery words. The peak of the peak, the #1 gamer in Korea, more famous than even celebrities." Seo-jun didn't show any admiration, instead it was the excessive calmness of someone ignorant of public information. "Is that so? I'm better than her. Actually, I used this virtual chamber once, a long time ago." Of course, that calm talk fell on deaf ears as far as Ti-woo was concerned. "That's complete nonsense. Are you even listening to a word I just said? This isn't working, I have to teach you a practical lesson." He calmly walked toward the machine and said, "Get inside right now. If your skill is really better than Shin Hae-in's, no, just better than mine, I'll do all the chores from now on." Since his friend had set the terms, Seo-jun didn't feel awkward and smiled cryptically, then quickly finalized the deal almost immediately. Deal. A while later, Seo-jun climbed into the machine to take his position. While the system was still busy working, connecting to the virtual reality world, 10 seconds remaining, he was busy falling into his own separate thoughts. Streamer, huh? To be honest, this is an industry I've never been interested in. But Seo-jun took a deep breath and let his mind wander. Suddenly, Hansuk's image appeared in his subconscious. His gentle, persuasive voice echoed throughout Seo-jun's mind. "Who isn't clumsy before they are proficient? If you hesitate just because you haven't tried, you will never accomplish anything." As soon as that thought ended, a blinding light suddenly appeared in his eyes. Seo-jun slowly opened his eyes. The strange, ancient scenery around him left him stunned for a moment. Where is this? Before Seo-jun could do anything, the system suddenly announced, "Kim Ti-woo has entered the practice room." He had just appeared, smiling and muttering, "You're in, huh?" Seo-jun gathered his churning curiosity and replied, "Yeah, what is this place?" Sensing the other's interest, Ti-Woo leisurely guided him around the practice room. This is a basic game pre-installed in the virtual pod, where you fight against AI to set a record. When Seo-jun revealed his ignorance, "Can't I just fight?" Woo, while handing him gear, couldn't help but laugh. "Here, take this. When I fight, I don't know how to go easy on people. You might get injured, defeat my Chialsu here, then we'll count it as you winning the bet." A system data board suddenly appeared, leaving Seo-jun completely baffled. Ti-Woo didn't need to look to know what it was and went straight to explaining, "The AI here has levels from 1 to 10. The higher the level, the stronger it gets. The final level, level 10, will simulate the person with the best achievements among those who have passed level 9. And Shin Hae-in has dominated that position for 5 years. But anyway, to get to level 10, you have to pass level 9 first, and that is not easy." Before he could finish his words, he was stunned to see the system screen open. It turned out Seo-jun had chosen the difficulty level himself, causing the system to hurriedly summon an AI. Solo mode has been set. The match will begin now. Ti-Woo looked at his cold face and laughed playfully. "What is it? Done choosing? You picked the level yourself, right? Don't tell me you jumped in blindly without knowing what you were doing." Just a split second later, the AI hurriedly raised its sword and ran toward Seo-jun. It had just swung its weapon when it was gently parried by him. The sound of clashing swords made Ti-Woo clear his throat and laugh. What is wrong with this guy? He looks so cocky. Meanwhile, Seo-jun was leisurely receiving every move from the AI. But when it started playing dirty, thrusting its sword forward, Seo-jun easily dodged it in a cool manner. Before the AI could react, he tilted his sword and made a strike on its body. A light attack was enough to take half of the AI's health bar. That information left Ti-Woo, who was watching from the outside, speechless. Luck. Meanwhile, Seo-jun stood motionless, waiting for the AI's next attack. As soon as it entered the forbidden zone, he immediately swung his sword, leaving it disoriented. Before the AI could regain its senses, Seo-jun quickly landed enough hits on it. Just as the AI attempted to raise its sword in a dirty thrust, he quickly executed a slash that sent the robot's arm flying from its body. As the AI's sword-wielding arm hit the ground, Ti-Woo was so shocked he turned pale as a sheet. The AI, having been beaten to a pulp, sensed the killing intent and looked up. Seo-jun gently stepped over its dangling arm. That sound made the AI lift its head. Seo-jun just waited for that moment so it could see his triumphant smile clearly. Then he gently sent his opponent off to AI heaven. The thin blade was pulled out of its body by Seo-jun, allowing the system to reclaim the AI. The ping-ping sound of the system analyzing data kept ringing continuously. Just a split second later, it displayed Seo-jun's results after the battle. "You won the 9th level match, remaining HP 10, battle time 2 minutes 23 seconds, current ranking 107. That image made the spectator Ti-Woo freeze. What? 9th level? The AI he just beat to death was 9th level. Wait, does that mean the next battle will be? The system quickly generated a new AI figure, waiting for it to fully set up and burst with energy. Ti-Woo felt a variable coming, so he stepped back a few paces. Shin Hae-in. A terrifying scene that left Ti-Woo unable to breathe. Because the person who would be fighting the Hae-in AI was his quiet friend, Seo-jun. What the hell is happening to this guy? At the laboratory, Soo-min shook Ji-hae, director. "Why did you do that?" When she received the confused question from the other, she asked, "Do what?" Soo-min quickly clarified her thoughts. That free rental thing, was it really necessary to be that generous? To be honest, he looks like he could live his whole life without ever making it to the tournament. Her brain also conveniently imagined Seo-jun's attitude when agreeing to Ji-hae's offer. "From now on, this virtual pod is mine, okay?" She waited for her subordinate to finish, then let out a sigh. "It's just that I feel regretful seeing talent go to waste." Soo-min quickly grasped the keyword and raised an eyebrow. Talent. Ji-hae stared at Seo-jun's file, lost in thought. Right from back then, when he couldn't even reach the minimum synchronization rate, I already saw that he was something very different. His skills now are far beyond what they were back then. Not wanting to let Soo-min know, Ji-hae slowly sighed and spoke in a vague tone. "It's true that he's still a long way from meeting the entry requirements. But if he actually makes it in, I think he could win the championship." Meanwhile, inside the system's training space, Seo-jun was leisurely sparring with the Hae-in AI. The intense sword fight made Ti-Woo break out in a cold sweat. Could he actually win the championship? A thought flashed through his head, and he hurriedly hit the record button. A confidence quickly surfaced that made Ti-Woo unable to help but smile darkly. If he really wins, this is a literal goldmine of content. Meanwhile, Seo-jun was still busy sword fighting with the Heian AI. When he flicked his sword to deflect his opponent, the Heian AI quickly regained its footing by blocking the knockback and pressing its limbs onto the arena floor. The opponent's agility made Seo-jun feel slightly impressed. Not bad for the legendary Shin Heian. I realized it back then, but she is more talented than anyone I've met in my past life. Thinking that, Seo-jun didn't forget to flatter himself. Oh wait, except for one person. The sudden moment of distraction made Ti-Woo scream, "Hey, what are you doing?" In a brief split second, the Heian AI took advantage of her opponent's trance to stab Seo-jun with a sword. That result quickly made Ti-Woo throw away all his previous hope for him. Yeah, exactly right. How can you keep up with Shin Heian's speed? Unexpectedly, Seo-jun calmly pulled out the Heian AI's sword that was stuck in his stomach, and then threw it on the ground without even bothering to answer his friend. A thought passed through Seo-jun's head as he watched the Heian AI jump back, looking completely unscathed without a single drop of blood. Seo-jun looked at the notification that he had lost 1 HP and calmly remarked, "Virtual reality is really impressive." His sudden calm demeanor made Ti-Woo frown in confusion. "Don't tell me you let yourself get hit on purpose to test it out?" Seo-jun didn't refute it. Instead, he shrugged casually. "I was just a little curious." While the two were busy talking, the Heian AI unexpectedly created a new sword to replace the old one. It slowly lowered its center of gravity, then hurriedly sprinted towards Seo-jun. That sudden speed forced him to match her pace to deflect the blows. On one side was the Heian AI, a clone of the strongest player of the modern era. On the other was Seo-jun, who possessed the strongest swordsmanship from his past life in ancient times. Both sides quickly brought their blades to meet their opponents in a surprise move, creating a powerful shockwave. While Seo-jun calmly pressed his sword down, the Heian AI was slightly rattled as she had never encountered this situation before and stood frozen. Within her energy gauge, error screens began to appear that shouldn't have been there. That bit of brief information was quickly read by Seo-jun, leading him to decide to flick his sword, pushing the Heian AI backward. While she hadn't yet recovered, he kicked her hard in the stomach. The hurried attack caused her to frantically jump back to maintain a safe distance. The cold voice of the system echoed in her head, "HP-4." Seo-jun looked at the Heian AI, which wasn't moving, and sarcastically said, "What's wrong?" Not rushing in anymore. He tilted his body back slightly and used the momentum to jump up. "Well then, that works." Seo-jun gently emerged from behind a misty cloud to fly in front of the Heian AI. Back then, his proactive attack forced her to raise her sword to block. The act of both sides pressing their swords with powerful force caused their blades to friction until sparks flew. But just a split second later, cracks appeared all over the Heian AI's blade. That image instantly left Ti-Woo visibly stunned. "Wait, no way." Before he could utter a word, Seo-jun slashed and broke the Heian AI's sword. The massive shockwave even pushed her away. Everything went according to Seo-jun's plan, causing him to involuntarily wear a premature smile of victory. Under the sunset lighting arranged by the system, he slowly raised his sword toward the face of the Heian AI. Before delivering the final blow, he didn't forget to mock her. "Maybe try practicing for another 80 years and you might be able to beat me." As soon as he finished, he delivered a finishing strike across the Heian AI's neck. The system received all the information and quickly reported the result. "You won the battle." Under Ti-Woo's awestruck and fearful gaze, Seo-jun just casually continued, "Hey, I just killed Shin Heian. Is this enough skill to be a performance-based streamer yet?" As soon as that was said, the system updated important information. Level 10 owner has changed. The next day at that same basic rental apartment, Seo-jun lay lazily on the sofa acting superior. "Since you're going that way, go buy some food, will you?" Ti-Woo, after the shock of the previous day, now had to act as his literal servant. "How did you cook the noodles so they're still raw?" Later, remember to vacuum the living room and the clothes aren't folded yet either. "And do the dishes after you eat?" Since all of this was because of that ridiculous bet, Ti-Woo could only cry in silence. Didn't he once say he wouldn't accept any resistance? Meanwhile, Seo-jun, having finished eating, went into his small, private room, where the machine was to prepare to work that day. I installed the game yesterday already. Now time to set up the live streaming room. Seo Jun nervously closed his eyes to let the machine system take his mind away. That faint light appeared once again. Not knowing how much time had passed, Seo Jun slowly lifted his heavy eyelids. The surrounding space was so minimalist it felt cold, making him slightly dazed. When Seo Jun blankly looked around in all directions, "Where is this place?" the system's basic screen suddenly appeared. When it introduced itself to answer Seo Jun's question, "This is your personal lobby. Please feel free to prepare before entering the game." He started scratching his chin, nodding like a 70-year-old man. "Oh right, a streamer interacts with viewers right in their lobby, so this is the place. I should probably decorate this place properly sometime. Okay then. Okay, let's turn on travel first." The #1 gaming livestream platform, Travel, quickly appeared before Seo Jun's eyes. A clear thought quickly crossed his mind like a passing wind. "Right now, I have only one goal: attract enough followers as a streamer to meet the standards for joining the Leo's tournament." When the system suddenly announced, "Your live stream will begin right now," Seo Jun slowly lowered his breathing, and the game he chose was Assassin Squad's Dawn. This is the game. A medieval-themed game where players must defeat targets using the most grotesque methods imaginable. Seo Jun, proud of his decision, nodded repeatedly. It hit over 2 million viewers on its first release day. And even after a week, its appeal hasn't cooled down at all. Too perfect for a beginner like me. In the dark night, a hook was fired by someone onto a stone wall. The sharp hook quickly caught hold, allowing the shooter to leap up thanks to it. Seo Jun, who now had a new avatar in the game, was grabbing the rope and running up the wall. After a few minutes, he finally managed to touch the highest floor of the building. Thanks to the tricks he retained from his past life, Seo Jun landed exactly where he needed to be in a split second. He slowly leaned over to look at the magnificent city below. A sudden gust of wind blew past, knocking off his hood and revealing Seo Jun's new appearance. "Alright, time to start, let's go live." The system suddenly displayed the title for his live stream session. "Newbie streamer plays a game for the first time. Are there any pros out there who can teach a newbie?" Seo Jun, upon reading that line, blankly thought, "Mr. T. Woo really knows how to write a sensational title. I wonder if it actually works." He recalled T. Woo's confident words from before, "Kid, when it comes to streaming seniority, I'm your senior. Just trust me, you'll definitely attract a crowd, just watch, go ahead and start it." He couldn't help but laugh and shake his head, "But I'm not exactly a complete novice when it comes to these virtual reality games either." After a moment of such amusement, Seo Jun quickly turned serious and cast his gaze downward, where the luxurious, money-scented building stood. Seo Jun slowly scanned his eyes toward the characters who were geared up and moving just like contemporary people in real life. The consistent background design made Seo Jun's mood surprisingly joyful. "The background is pretty gripping. I have to admit the graphics are well invested." He was excited enough to laugh unconsciously. Suddenly, there were footsteps approaching from behind Seo Jun. He slowly turned around due to the gentle call. "Dane, for this mission, you might never come back." Seo Jun quickly read the system's dialogue correctly. "Christina, have we ever done a job that wasn't dangerous?" Before she could say another word, Seo Jun frowned in thought. The beginner tutorial is already running on auto dialogue. The voice is different too, so this character's name is Dane. He looks pretty cool. When Christina turned her face, revealing her awkwardness, "It's true." Seo Jun smiled, letting his raspy voice fly with the wind. "Once you want to take someone else's life, you have to be prepared to give up your own." Hearing about the internet connection, Christina snapped back to reality and cleared her throat. "Yeah, you're right, but you still need to be careful. They might have already caught your scent." Unlike her, however, Seo Jun casually brushed off her concern. "Don't worry, just head over to the tavern and wait for me." Unexpectedly, instead of doing as he said, Christina held out a folded piece of paper. Under his confused gaze, she quickly added, "Nothing is ever true, so learn to doubt everything." Hearing that, Seo Jun smirked excitedly. "Here we go." Then he continued with the line dictated by the system as he took the paper. "Even the chaos, right?" After parting ways with Christina, Seo Jun quickly dashed across the rooftops of the buildings. He pulled out a thick piece of fabric and gripped it firmly in his hand. Once he identified his destination, Seo Jun let himself glide along the cable wire. As he neared his arrival point, he immediately let go of the wire and kicked off the top of a street lamp. Then he landed softly on the ground. Seo Jun's eyes even retained the same look he had as the god of death back in the day. It wasn't until the system announced that the auto tutorial mode had ended that he returned to his usual dorky self. Wait, done already. Seo Jun hurried to regain his focus to continue the game. So, that's the end of the line. Small snippets of information text suddenly appeared before his eyes. The optimization is pretty lame, huh? Climb up using the water pipe. This instruction alone made Seo Jun feel uneasy. He looked at the pipes fixed to the wall with a weary expression. You want me to climb using that? The moment Seo Jun's hand touched a small water pipe, his whole body seemed to be energized by some kind of power, causing him to kick off the pipe and leap high, and a moment later, Seo Jun landed right on the rooftop of the building. The fluid, expert climbing maneuver surprised even him. Whoa, what was that? My body just moved so smoothly. The interaction is surprisingly realistic. Finished already? I guess my body felt a bit stiff because it was on autopilot before. Suddenly, a beginner mission appeared before Seo Jun. Assassination target. Eder is a high-ranking noble and a middleman for a secret organization. The Assassin's Guild has tasked member Dane with eliminating him. Completion condition. Eder must die. Seo Jun read through the long-winded text and sighed. So, in short, I just need to kill the guy named Eder, right? And I have to admit, this game gives great directions. Just as he finished speaking, the system automatically dropped a rope. Use the rope to climb down. Seo Jun carefully climbed down while commenting silently to himself. It's actually a relief having it guide me through the basics step-by-step like this. Suddenly, this crazy old man stopped what he was doing. It was all because a wild thought was racing through Seo Jun's mind. I wonder what happens if I let go while I'm climbing. Do I really have to climb all the way to the end of the rope? It should be fine to let go halfway, right? My gut tells me it's okay, plus it'll be faster this way. As soon as he had that thought, the madman Seo Jun let go. Well, he was screwed. As expected, his body plummeted and slammed into the ground, just like a ripe durian falling from a tree. A moment later, Seo Jun regained his senses, sat up, and groaned. Yeah, that definitely didn't work. Surprisingly, that unconscious action actually caused the comment board to pop up before his eyes. Seo Jun scanned through all the current comments. That streamer is a total newbie, haha. Watching new players do comedy is so entertaining. Don't tell me he's acting. It's hilarious, seriously. When I first started playing, I was just as clueless and embarrassed myself, but wait, I'm still streaming, I keep forgetting that. When did 4 people start watching? I thought nobody was watching, turns out the title actually works. Seo Jun imagined T Woo's excited face upon hearing this news. I knew it. Then he gently interacted with the viewers. Sorry everyone, I just noticed the chat. The audience was split into 2 camps in an instant. Watching a newbie do comedy is actually pretty fun, versus quit stalling and move faster, stop being lazy, keep going. But the only thing Seo Jun paid attention to was one thing. Why are these account names so weird? Or is it just random weirdos wandering in here? Come to think of it, T-Woo did advise that when you start a live stream, you have to talk to yourself to fill the silence. And even if there's no one or just one person watching, don't pay too much attention to the numbers. The most important thing is to interact. That led Seo Jun to fall into his own private analysis. The reason they chose to watch his channel instead of the big ones must be because they want real interaction. On big channels, the text flies by so fast you can't see anything. Let me try to talk naturally and see how it goes, and he acted on it. Seo Jun started a Q&A with the viewers who were watching him. Are you really a total newbie? Yeah, I am. Check his profile, it's legit. The account was created 2 days ago. Can you even see that? Sure, if you don't want others to see, just hide it. Oh, that's such a hassle. He's too lazy to hide his profile but diligent enough to play games. And when are you actually going to start the mission? Oh, I'm going right now. Not knowing how much time had passed, Seo Jun finally arrived at Count Eder's mansion. While he casually remarked, that was quick, the viewers weren't too thrilled with what they were seeing. That place looks like a haunted house, seriously. The sound of crows is giving me goosebumps. Not knowing what to do first, Seo Jun started asking for help from the viewers. What should I do now? Should I just walk straight through the front door? Only to receive some tense reactions. He's truly fearless, total newbie energy. Wait, don't. Christina's letter said not to do that. The last comment revealed that Seo Jun had already opened that piece of paper. Oh, right, there's the letter. He squinted at the contents of the paper and muttered to the viewers, It says here that Eder is in the second floor bedroom and there are about 20 guards. And as for weapons, just as he said that, Seo Jun summoned his heavy artillery. His left hand was also enveloped by the system for a few seconds before revealing a small piece of armor around his wrist. Seo Jun stared blankly at the two items he was equipped with, a sword hidden in a walking cane and a gauntlet. His naive appearance made the viewers unable to help but explain, those are just default tutorial weapons. Though Seo Jun didn't pay much attention to that, his goal was just to take out Eder. This is more than enough, thinking that, he sheathed the sword back into the cane. Then he gently headed straight for the front entrance. Alright, I'm going in. That somewhat decisive act made the audience act like mother hens watching a chick run onto the train tracks. Wait, this newbie is crazy, stop. When Seo Jun calmly turned around and asked, "What's wrong?" Everyone collectively sighed and reminded him, "Good heavens, did you not read Christina's whole letter? Please just follow the instructions in the letter for goodness sake. Leave him be, he'll only get smarter after dying a few times. The Reaper is preparing to welcome another soul today." The series of bizarre reactions made Seo Jun purse his lips in thought. Are people really reacting that strongly? Not being able to think of anything better, he asked directly, "Is going through the front door not allowed?" A viewer messaged, "Do you even know what a warrior playstyle is?" Causing Seo Jun to reveal his ignorance immediately. What's that? That sincere, questioning look made the viewer show some mercy and offer a detailed explanation. In this game, if you get caught during a mission, the NPCs get buffed, so people usually play stealthily. But sometimes the veterans like to play recklessly, just walking straight through the front door and stabbing everyone. That reckless playstyle is called Warrior. Seo Jun skimmed through the comment and quickly asked, "Does that mean it's impossible to beat the tutorial with that reckless style?" The viewer didn't think twice. Who knows? No one has ever done it. There was a guy who tried grinding for like 10 hours, but he was so helpless he had to give up and go back to doing it the normal way to get the first ending, saying he'd come back for revenge later. Even the veterans on the forums haven't seen anyone post that they've done it. Hearing that, Seo Jun couldn't help but chuckle. "So it's not impossible, just nobody has done it yet, right?" The viewer, not seeing the change in his expression, responded as if they were old friends, "Yeah, unless you have pro-level skills like Shin Haein, maybe then." That familiar name made Seo Jun decide to move forward. Shin Haein. He gently tipped his hat, flashed a bright smile and said, "Alright, let's see about that." The blood moon scenery surrounding Eder's mansion created an indescribable horror movie atmosphere. Only at this moment did Seo Jun slowly soak in the bizarre vibe of the place, causing him to shiver for a second. Oh, seeing it up close, this pressure is no joke. But people say that letting the viewers look down on you a little is the art of content creation. He calmly read the stream of comments scrolling by. "I'm betting the farm, the op is going down right here. Does anyone want to bet how many tries before he rage quits? He'll never make it. Die quickly and restart so we don't waste time. You guys are too harsh on him. What is this newbie doing? I don't know. Does he even know who Shin Haein is to be bragging like that?" Those harsh words weren't as interesting to Seo Jun as something else. 3 more people are watching now. Turns out creating scandals is really how you attract viewers. Oh well, as long as they don't cross the line, just let them be. Seo Jun's soft footsteps quickly caught the attention of the mansion guards. They rushed to get into defensive positions and shouted, "Who's there?" While the comments went into sarcasm mode. "Oh my, caught the moment he walked in, just as I said. I told you he'd die right there," Seo Jun calmly replied. "Don't worry, I'm starting to get the hang of it." Only to get hit by cold water from the harsh commentators. "Nobody is worried about you, we're just watching you die for entertainment." Exactly, he'll be on the floor in 3 seconds. While he was distracted, a guard raised his sword and lunged at him. "You, get out here now." In a split second, Seo Jun's eyes switched to his God of Death mode. With lightning speed, he pulled out his sword and blocked the opponent's thug-like attack. And then he gently countered the foolish guard, causing him to fall over in pain on the cold ground. The sudden turn of events immediately threw the viewers into a frenzy. Oh my god, he could win the lottery right now. Wait, am I seeing this wrong? Did this newbie just successfully block that? Making Seo Jun pause for a second. His hand silently tightened around the sword hilt, but it wasn't out of worry, rather confusion. While his hand still handled the opponent out of muscle memory from his past life. I don't even know what just happened myself. Are monsters in this game really that easy to kill? The remaining guard saw his comrade get sent to heaven so quickly and rushed over. You little brat. Unfortunately, the result was exactly the same. Seo Jun gently parried the attack with his flimsy sword. However, before finishing the opponent, he even had time to read the viewer's comments. Wait, no way, that's insane. I swear if I knew, I would have bought a lottery ticket. He double parried it too, that's insane. Insane what? That was pure luck, I'm dying of laughter. Seo Jun sat there cluelessly with a blank face just parrying away. Suddenly, the guard who had just been pushed back surprisingly struggled to get back up, making him an eyesore, so he finished him off for good. Once done, Seo Jun cleared his throat, "Hey everyone," making the viewers jump. What? Who would have thought he'd ask such a basic, redundant question, what is a parry? Just a split second later, the viewer couldn't hold back their laughter. Are you kidding? You did that move and you don't even know what a parry is. But when they saw Seo Jun answer seriously, yeah, that's right, everyone started buzzing. Oh my god, you really are a natural-born genius. It's just luck, not talent. If that's not talent, then what is? Their noise made him lose interest. Okay, stop arguing, just explain it to me. His ignorant attitude made the viewers both angry and amused. Watching his attitude is hilarious. Suddenly, I really want to help him. Stop arguing, everyone. It took quite a long time before Seo Jun, "Oh, I see," finally echoed. He poked his stick at his illustrations on the ground and recited his lesson. So that's what a parry is. Meaning you just have to time it right when the enemy lunges and slash down and it stuns them, right? Making the viewers burst into laughter. The drawing skills are top-notch, but he's surprisingly sharp. Even veteran pro gamers who are full of confidence are crying over this game's parry mechanism. That statement made Seo Jun knit his brows in wonder. Even the pros are struggling with it. T Wu said the level 9 bot is basically pro level. If the pros are only at that level, then their general skill level must be around there too. No wonder everyone finds it hard. To parry successfully, you have to read the enemy's attack direction perfectly and move your body in sync. Suddenly, a viewer expressed interest by asking a confirmation question, "Do you understand what a parry is now?" Seo Jun quickly nodded like a good kid. "I understand it perfectly now." Who would have thought he'd get such sincere advice, but to the wrong person? Then you should turn back while you still can, trust me, or you're going to get crushed soon. Seo Jun didn't think twice and took another step forward. Why would I do that? I think it's pretty easy. Seo Jun's confident tone quickly made the viewers laugh sarcastically. But strangely, a more serious comment suddenly appeared. "No, I'm watching very closely, that movement just now was definitely not luck." Unexpectedly, before he could respond, other commentators jumped in. "Do you think being top 1 is that easy? Who do you think you are? The greatest assassin in Korea isn't a beggar, what the heck do you know?" The unprecedented argument in the comments section made Seo Jun sigh. How miserable, that person only said one thing and got jumped on immediately. In my past life, I was exactly like this, even when I was crushing the disciples of the major sects. They still looked down on me because I was a nobody. No family background, no support. My strength was always dismissed by people. Even though I know things now and back then are not the same, but before Seo Jun could think any further, a series of unexpected footsteps sounded, making him freeze. A group of guards, having heard the alarm, rushed to Seo Jun. "Stop right there, intruder." Looking at their mocking expressions, he just gently tightened his grip on the sword hilt. At its core, it's still the same. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Seo Jun immediately switched to lightning speed and charged into the enemy lines. Regardless, I'll just use the results to prove it. Seo Jun had just finished one person when another appeared from above. He just tilted his body when his eyes caught the opponent's weak point, and quickly thrust his sword into the soldier immediately. That decisive action and agility made the viewers gawk. What the heck? However, his fight was not yet over. The clanking sounds rang out continuously for a few short seconds, and then the hit sound for the final blow rang out, leaving only Seo Jun standing firmly in the middle of the gloomy battlefield. Yet he still carried his sword and turned around gracefully, just to send the last fool to the arms of his comrades in the afterlife. In just a few brief moments, Seo Jun stopped and thrust his sword into the ground to take a break. Under the moonlight, as red as blood, his soft voice sounded no different from a demon coming to collect a soul. "If you want to catch me, you'd better bring the entire Shaolin Temple's 18 Arhat formation here." His cool look quickly left the viewers stunned. Is this streamer wearing knee pads? How is he kneeling so smoothly? That's not the point, he just did 4 parries in a row. Are you curious about who I am yet? Are you curious about who I am yet? Are you curious about who I am yet? Seo Jun was busy reading comments when he discovered one more enemy still alive. Damn it, call for reinforcements fast. He hadn't even taken a few steps before he threw his sword straight into the center of the opponent's iron helmet. He sighed leisurely, like a grim reaper who had just finished his shift. His footsteps made the crisp sound of life amidst a space filled with the smell of hell. Seo Jun calmly pulled his sword out and muttered, "And that's 6. The image, no different from a horror movie, left the viewers bewildered. Wait, who is this streamer? Is he really a beginner? When Seo Jun answered sincerely, "Of course I am." Didn't everyone just see how much I was struggling earlier? Some viewers from the beginning started to backpedal and cry out, "I told you." Wait a minute, before that he couldn't even climb over the roof and now he's performing like this. I thought this was a newbie stream, but it turns out he's a hidden master. Who is he? Seo Jun froze for a moment, then cleared his throat and warned, "Spam greatest assassin in Korea one more time and you're getting banned." The person wanting to see his skills hurriedly reported back, "Understood, boss." His obedient appearance made him feel a bit awkward. "Thank you for being the first one to recognize my skills," but unexpectedly after that touching interaction a troll appeared. "The op is so serious, what's there to be afraid of just because I get banned from this tiny channel? Go ahead and ban me if you can." The notification that the viewer had been kicked from the room went along with Seo Jun's calm voice, finishing the matter and giving the viewers a chance to laugh and see the guest off. The reaction speed is truly elite. That physical instinct is too scary. It's going down in history. The first ban of Season 1, I'm so jealous. Exactly, with skills like this he'll be famous in no time. Getting banned is just his loss. Seo Jun glanced quickly at those comments and sighed inwardly. Is this a good sign? Am I actually doing well? It's hard to say. In his past life, he never dared to show his true self just because of his low status. Being suppressed by the righteous sex, he never belonged anywhere. But talent cannot be hidden, and eventually he became a lonely sword god. That was him. If Seo Jun's disciples heard this inner monologue, they would just cry, "Please stop, master. You're just talking nonsense. Do you know how hard we had to clean up the mess you made?" "Senior, don't worry." Seo Jun didn't even bother listening. It just went in one ear and out the other. The moment of remembering the past ended quickly when inquisitive comments started to appear. "But seriously, why are you so good at parrying? Is there a trick to it? Your hands are like rubber." When Seo Jun muttered, "Oh that," the viewers frantically urged him, "Tell us, what is it? What's the secret? Spill it. Oh my god, I'm dying of anticipation." Who would have thought he'd say something like, "Just remember your past life and it's easy, get it?" Or just look closely at the enemy's attack and slash down once and it's done. That way of talking made the viewers absolutely furious. "Do you think I don't know that? Do you think I don't know that? Do you think I don't know that? Are you making fun of us? Someone bring a spear, he's so thick-skinned." Seo Jun saw their anger rising and just muttered, "I'm explaining it thoroughly, why are you all yelling at me?" Suddenly, the guard's desperate screams rang out, "Over here, the intruder is over here," while he just softly muttered, "Oh well, they've all arrived," and someone quickly explained based on his previous clueless act. He stayed in one spot too long, that's why he's surrounded. In a split second, Seo Jun was surrounded by a squad from the mansion. A viewer seeing this scene blurted out, "Just die here and finish the tutorial, you have no chance against Eder," making Seo Jun chuckle. "Everyone. A beginner doing 13 successful parries in a row, don't you want to see that?" The moment Seo Jun boldly made his declaration to the livestream viewers, the roar of the NPC guards echoed again the very next second. "Destroy the intruder, quick! There's only one of them, don't be afraid." Pairs of ironclad feet raced around to corner him, leaving no blind spots, yet his vision remained completely undisturbed by the chaos. Regrettably for them, the person they were facing was none other than Seo Jun, who possessed the title of Sword God in his past life. Maintaining complete composure, he effortlessly seized every opportunity, unleashing his strikes with decisive force. However, the number of guards from the Count's estate was overwhelming. No sooner was one defeated than another wave charged in. Still, for someone like him, it wasn't much of a problem, his sharp eyes darting toward whatever was moving right behind him. He effortlessly lowered his center of gravity to dodge a sharp blade aimed at him by a soldier trying to ambush him from the rear. This scene successfully caused quite a stir among the viewers. "Oh my god, does he have eyes in the back of his head? Is this streamer some anonymous pro?" Think again, even a pro might not be able to pull that off. The difficulty Seo Jun presented finally added to the frustration, causing the NPC guards to scream at the top of their lungs, "You bastard." Without a hint of panic or hesitation, he didn't use his feet to run away. but rather used them as a solid anchor against the ground. And as someone holding the assassin of the Dawn class, Seo Jun chose to engage the aggressive assault from the guards head-on. Having already defeated the Shin Heian AI in the prologue, the NPCs before him could naturally only be pushed back by his hand. It was no surprise, with a clean, swift swing of his blade, Seo Jun successfully claimed the heads of 2 opponents. Not a shred of difficulty showed in his eyes. He was even relaxed enough to let a soft, gentle curve form on his lips. At the very moment he flourished within the territory owned by the boss, Eder, the scene caused a viewer to go wild. This is absolutely insane. The opponent was none other than Jom, whose in-game ID was South Korea's champion assassin. What the hell is this? Is he really a newbie? What the hell is this? Is he really a newbie? From his username to his actions on the forums, Jom was famous for being a die-hard fan of the Assassin of the Dawn squad. Up until the moment the developers announced the core rules in a lively press conference about Dane, his motto had been to focus purely on hiding and assassination. A sweeping playstyle? Good luck trying, but just attempting it is a headache. The moment he heard this, Jom, who was more obsessed with the sweeping playstyle than anyone else, went crazy. The increased difficulty only made him more excited and ignited his desire to conquer it. However, nothing was truly easy. The skyrocketing difficulty left most people who tried only bitter and helpless as they received repeated game over notifications. Still, thanks to that, some bizarre playstyles were discovered. Hey guys, turns out you can just collapse the whole building to finish the assassination mission. And this one has a different way thanks to memory. Just memorize the boss's mechanics and it's easy. As long as that thing explodes at the right time, the boss is finished. This game is so trippy. It didn't stop there. There were even those who invented the most time-consuming playstyles ever. I've been hiding for 3 hours and the target still hasn't come out. This successfully made viewers comment, "Are you that free to sit and watch this for 3 hours? You stubborn idiot, please spend that time doing some research instead." You could say that no matter which live streamer Jom watched, he had never witnessed a truly top-tier sweeping match, so he could only mutter to himself, "I guess hell difficulty is just different." But right at this moment, the light from Seo Jun's decisive slashes lit up Jom's life. His exhilaration exploded to the point where tears of emotion welled up in his eyes. That's right, this is what a true sweeping playstyle looks like. After all, the owner of the obscure, unknown livestream channel was none other than Seo Jun, whom he had accidentally clicked on, and he was executing the very sweeping playstyle Jom had been searching for so aggressively. Waves of excitement spread through Jom's body, escaping his moving mouth. That's it, it's here." Not stopping there, he spammed comments to show his worship. "How far ahead were you thinking? You are the greatest legend in the history of the Assassination Squad, the Lord of my heart." Back to Seo Jun, his series of powerful maneuvers left the soldiers suffering heavy casualties, falling in heaps onto the cold concrete floor. At this moment, Seo Jun had truly conquered the hearts of the viewers on the other side of the screen. Sweeping radiance. Does these mortal eyes of mine deserve to witness this scene? Hey streamer, are you hacking? Seeing the string of comments scrolling wildly across his system screen, he couldn't help but ask, "You guys are making such a fuss over just that? I'm just dodging what needs to be dodged and blocking what needs to be blocked." Hearing the nonchalant tone from Seo Jun, the viewers immediately flooded the screen with crazy questions. "Sorry, but are you insane, man? That's hilarious. As if we didn't know that watching this livestream is giving me severe psychological trauma." After being pestered so much, he stated bluntly, "Is that so? If you don't like it, I'll turn off the stream. Bye." The comments immediately changed their tune in an instant. "Wait, master, I didn't mean anything. Big brother, please, why are you like this?" Even though the number was small, Seo Jun had successfully received positive recognition for his first livestream. "Oh, all 6 viewers followed me, not bad." Just as he was busy ruminating, a heaven-shattering explosion erupted right before his eyes. After that intense destruction, a pair of leather boots appeared and the comments erupted. "Now it's really starting, finally, the boss fight." In the blink of an eye, the opponent didn't even waste a breath before decisively hurling a lethal orb towards Seo Jun. Luckily, the damage was dealt to the ground beneath his feet because he had dodged it just in time, leaving the followers stunned. How did the old man dodge that? His reflexes are insane, and blocking the act just now was lightning fast. Ignoring the scene, Eder, the final boss of this stage, displayed his standard arrogance. "You look like a scared rat scurrying around. The viewers couldn't help but complain. How does he expect to win this? My ears hurt, the boss's roar is terrifying. Parallel to this moment, Seo Jun didn't bother standing there watching the screen or listening to the guy ramble anymore, but decisively launched himself forward. Until the distance between him and Eder was just right, a gentle hop was executed by Seo Jun. Without any hesitation or restraint, he directly swung his sharp steel blade at the opponent but only dealt 5 points of damage. Because the damage was so small, the boss's body only staggered for a fleeting moment rather than losing its head entirely. And in the very next moment, Eder turned his head back with a radiant smile stretching to his ears. "What are you flailing your arms around for, brat?" Seo Jun's sharp eyes narrowed tightly. Now he finally felt a part of the difficulty. His HP barely dropped, as expected of a boss. Displaying an exceptional spirit for learning, he threw the question to the viewers. "Chat, can this flail weapon block attacks?" They immediately replied, "Of course not. Do you think you can take down a boss in one hit? Where's your conscience?" Not bothering with what the player was rambling about, Eder had only one goal, to show off the weapon in his hand. "You stupid brat, I'll let you taste the absolute power of this flail." With his massive body, the guy proved what power dominance meant against Seo Jun's flexible moves. However, he also indirectly proved that his own heaviness didn't affect his attack speed at all. And so, the property destruction caused by Eder continued through each of Seo Jun's dodges, which didn't cost him a drop of sweat or effort. Seeing that he still hadn't caused any damage, the guy remained as confident as if victory was firmly in his grasp. As if waiting for his opponent to pause for a moment, Seo Jun decisively launched himself into the air again with his superhuman jumping ability. Regrettably, it was even worse than before. Now, the damage he dealt to the boss was only 3 and he had to receive the guy's arrogance. "It's useless, this body won't fall." At that same time, Eder's stone flail smashed straight into the hanging lamp high above. Luckily, Seo Jun had dodged in time and landed on the floor in a cool manner. Just as expected, the damage dealt is still too low. However, the current slow progress caused significant annoyance to his constantly processing brain. At this rate of chipping away his health, will I make it in time? Just as Seo Jun feared, a viewer with the ID "You are the greatest in my life" informed him that once he encountered Eder, if he couldn't take him down within 5 minutes, it would be an instant loss. His expression changed to one of astonishment due to the short duration. "What?" And it was thanks to this that he noticed the black countdown clock displaying 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Since when did that line appear? While he was stunned by the sudden situation, Eder's attack swiftly brushed past Seo Jun by a hair's breadth. As expected of a final boss NPC, no matter how much he moved, his mouth never grew tired, smiling every second. "Kid, look where you're going while we're fighting." Seo Jun's characteristic golden pupils narrowed tightly with each line of thought. "At this rate, there's no way I can destroy him before time runs out." Now the system's clock only showed 3 minutes and 42 seconds in his view. "Maybe I should try aiming my sword at his weak point. There must be a trick here." Jom quickly stepped up to provide a solution for his new idol. "Leader, if you continuously attack one spot, the damage will stack. The current community hypothesis is that it's the only way." Observing the seemingly feasible plan, Seo Jun couldn't help but nod after a moment of pondering. "Keep hitting one spot, huh? Well, let's give it a try." The moment he leaped away, he didn't forget to express his gratitude. "South Korea's champion assassin, thanks for the info." It didn't take long for Seo Jun to once again close the distance with the difficult enemy. Now, his determination to hit the target successfully helped him deplete the enemy's HP by 70 points. The viewers immediately erupted. "Oh my god, his health bar dropped a much larger chunk." Jom was right. And at this moment, Seo Jun landed on the floor and concluded, "Turns out focusing on one spot is the key." Now, Eder's expression was no longer playful as it had been minutes ago, only resentment remained, his teeth grinding out the words, "You little brat." Even though he had discovered the breakthrough method, the battle was nearing its end with only 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. "There's not much time left, I can't let him breathe." After the moment of resolution in his brain, Seo Jun decisively lunged and directly grabbed Eder's weapon, causing the guy to panic and the viewers to gasp. "No way, he's actually winning against the boss." Now the large-scale battle shifted to a contest of raw strength with a roar from his throat, "You little mouse." Naturally, Eder wasn't going to just stand there, decisively swinging his remaining free fist in preparation for a strike. Take your filthy hands off my weapon now. The rage belonging to the guy continued to rise like a volcano erupting with hot lava. You bastard. However, Seo-jun knew exactly how to destroy his opponent and wouldn't let go, even though the clock struck 1 minute and 7 seconds. Not wanting to give his enemy any more chance to counterattack, the slashes he unleashed, dealing 200 to 500 damage, struck the boss one after another, making the viewers cry out, "Sincere apologies, Eder, is that reflex speed actually human?" After a series of fierce and equally precise strikes, everyone had to gasp, unable to contain themselves. This is truly peak. Whoa, is he still not out of health? Responding to the next question from the chat, Seo-jun immediately paid attention and replied, "Yeah, need to add one more hit." Someone excitedly shouted, "The final strike, let's go brothers." And then, at the moment the countdown clock showed 0 minutes and 51 seconds, a blood-soaked slash was decisively unleashed. The end of the stage boss officially caused a tremor that shook the entire mansion. Under an eerie red sky mixed with gloom, the entire area shook violently. Although he had been defeated by the player Seo-jun, Eder was still alert enough to roar powerfully for the sake of the upcoming plot. Hypocritical lackeys of the assassination squad. The next second, he decisively tore the paper he had just pulled out of his pocket while declaring, "I won't die alone here." This exact scene marked the completion of his beginner quest. Now, some viewer was continuously clicking on their computer screen. A series of videos showcasing Seo-jun's prowess spread widely across social media with striking titles. The newbie's first battle. Surpassing the tutorial with a 13-to-1 defensive massacre, the first person in the universe recorded defeating Eder. No fakes, no staging. Under a night sky filled with brilliant stars, the high-rise building was still brightly lit, showing that its owner hadn't gone to sleep yet. Deep inside, exclamations rang out as someone continuously clicked their mouse. Oh my god, this is beyond imagination. The opponent was no stranger, it was Jom, who was still unable to stop his excitement. "I can't believe I got to witness the first clear with my own eyes." In the game, Seo-jun was startled by what hit his eyes. What is that? Now, a series of glowing orange-red magic circles appeared and covered them both from every angle. He had clearly gone crazy from his own failure and decided to blow everything up to take his enemy with him. Regrettably, the player Seo-jun possessed flexible agility and high speed, which supported his escape in the nick of time. At the moment he pulled into a safe distance, he couldn't help but curse the boss in his mind. That bastard Eder just cast a self-destruct spell, and it was thanks to this terrifying sound that the guards were immediately attracted and surged toward him. Over there, the assassin is over there. Under a large, eerie red moon, Seo-jun knew clearly that it would be hard to fight enemies from all four sides, so he decisively turned to run amidst the resounding screams from behind. Catch the assassin, quick. Finally, after a long stint of movement across the vast space, he stepped into a dense forest overflowing with foliage and white mist. But no matter how quiet the surrounding situation was, it couldn't stop the feet under Seo-jun from moving non-stop. Indeed, his decision to not dare stop for even a second was truly correct. At the moment the arrow from the enemy behind flew past. With his sharp perception, he quickly realized the killing intent approaching behind him at an extremely high speed. Regrettably, right before standing in front of a towering abyss, Seo-jun was struck for a fleeting moment. And there was nothing to doubt. He simply let himself fall freely amidst the vast space, with astonishment appearing on his face. Now, the brilliant moonlight in the sky still silently shone, but the distance between it and Seo-jun was so far that he would never be able to reach it. A drop of sweat silently ran down his cheek. Even though he was in a dangerous situation, his eyes still showed composure, as if none of it concerned him. No surprises occurred to rescue Seo-jun in the nick of time. Ultimately, he ended Dane's life in the heart of the fast-flowing river. Time passed, and the difficult, gloomy night eventually gave way to the sun, which finally woke up after yielding to the high-hanging moon. After an aimless journey, the current finally brought Seo-jun's motionless body to rest on a muddy bank covered in shadows. From his own slender hand, fresh blood slowly flowed and blended into the peaceful water below. At the moment the entire space sank into silence due to the farewell, someone's feet slowly stepped on the grass to move forward. Before long, the stranger had closed the distance with the person lying still and devoid of any life in their view. Without a hint of confusion as to why the owner of the body was lying here, he just gently crouched down, and then took from Seo Jun's clothes a falcon-shaped badge reflecting brilliant gold in the morning sun, making it stand out amidst the surrounding landscape. Curling his lips in triumph, the person covered from head to toe was none other than Seo Jun, who was supposed to be in Dane's body to serve the game's objective, as the system had transferred his consciousness to the actual player's character. Who would have guessed that this cool reappearance would make the veteran viewers in Seo Jun's livestream criticize and weep? This cutscene is exactly the same as always, isn't it? Dane has to die every time. Now he stated bluntly with a nonchalant face, "If it were me, I could have blocked that arrow, what a pity." The viewers immediately jumped in to exclaim, "What a buzzkill, but the bitter part is that I totally believe you could do it. You're really different." This made Seo Jun gasp, truly a rain of criticism. And then at the very next moment, seeing that the conversation had dragged on, he decisively clapped his hands loudly. Enough. After that, Seo Jun decisively steered back to the main topic by asking the screen in his view, "What should I do next?" Immediately, a viewer with experience informed him, "Go to the tavern and talk to Christina, man." He repeated it as if to confirm, "Christina, huh?" Until he looked up again. What entered Seo Jun's pupils was a sign with a beer mug symbol and a sun. Come to think of it, that cutscene probably teleported me to the tavern already. Without a hint of hesitation or doubt, he decisively walked to the doorknob and pulled it open. As if falling into a completely different world, the inside here was full of lively discussion sounds, completely different from the silence outside. In the area filled with conversation, Christina stood out like a ray of sunlight thanks to her golden hair reflecting the gentle light around her. Facing this extremely radiant image, Seo Jun couldn't help but inwardly gasp in his processing center. Exactly right, looking at this interface, I know I have to go over and start a conversation. And so he closed the distance with her, successfully attracting the attention of the waitress standing behind the bar. Facing the gentle curve forming on Seo Jun's lips, Christina slowly spoke her dialogue. "May I ask what you need?" Looking up at the laid-back face, he honestly expressed himself with a decisive nod. "What do I need? Yes, I do. I need a lot of things, actually." At the moment he lifted the badge that belonged to the character Dane he had once embodied, Seo Jun couldn't help but be speechless in his mind because the performance just now had automatically triggered the dialogue. Meanwhile, Christina's blue pupils narrowed with extreme intensity upon seeing the badge. The hand that had been cleaning the cup now trembled violently to the point of being hard to control. Her eyebrows instantly knit tightly, her tone becoming heavier than ever as she asked the three-word question, "Who are you?" Sporting a standard smile, a performance of a mysterious and capable character from Seo Jun, obviously controlled by the system, "No need to be so alert. I'm only here because I thought I could help you." As if not understanding what had just been uttered, Christina hesitantly retorted, "What do you mean?" And so, without any flowery, long-winded talk, he decisively went straight to the main point with the following sentence. "Just consider me quite confident in my assassination skills." After a long period of contemplation after receiving that answer, her expression finally lost its look of panic, replaced by seriousness. "Wait, are you the one who came from the west?" Seeing the opponent throw him another question through a firm tone, Seo Jun didn't hesitate to admit, "That's right, have you heard of me too?" In order to fit the game's plot, his background was built in a standard way, carrying lore through Christina's eyes. "I heard he's a mercenary who takes any job if the price is right. If that's the case, he definitely doesn't belong to the religious faction." After a long analysis in his data processing center, she nodded slightly as if making a final decision. "All right, at the very least we should exchange names, right? I'm Christina, and you?" Standing before this reasonable question from the opponent, Seo Jun also regained control of his body and uttered a few words. "I am." Before he could say the next word, the system appeared at the right time with a white frame and the title, "What is your name?" with an input button below. Those who had followed him from the first steps of his journey couldn't help but be surprised. Oh, so he's finally decided on a username. But wait, is Seo Jun his real name? His real name actually sounds pretty cool, no joke. Not bothering with the comments around him, he sank into contemplation as his mind worked. Right now, my streamer name is Shin Seo Jun because I didn't set a nickname at first, so the system took my real name. I'll just choose the safe route, using my real name is fine. However, when the answer to Christina's question fell from his mouth, it was a completely different name. nameless. Without a hint of hesitation, Seo Jun bared his bright white teeth enough to star in a toothpaste commercial and emphasized once more, "My name is nameless." The viewers watching couldn't help but shout, "Wait, hello, why call yourself nameless? Taking it literally, man, are you that lazy to think?" Little did they know that his brain had fallen into memories of the past. "It sounds a bit silly now, but in my past life this name Nameless was really hot. The martial arts style was popular, so everyone competed to call themselves the name I had chosen. My name is Nameless. Well, I'm Nameless number 2. His lips couldn't help but curl up. It means no name, but it sounded so cool and mysterious, so it was extremely popular back then. And after entering the 2 characters he had decided on, the system didn't forget to do its job and confirmed once more. "Do you want to use the name Nameless?" Until Seo Jun confirmed by pressing the yes button, the notification updated with other lines. "You can now receive assassination requests at the Sunshine Tavern." Consequently, Christina continued her NPC guide duty. "Alright, then Nameless it is." To get the story straight to the main point, he directly proposed a question appropriate for the situation. "So how do we contact each other from now on?" She slowly lifted her hand toward the falcon badge belonging to Dane while uttering a follow-up before talking about that. Showing a cold face as if solving a business matter, a bit of emotion flashed in her sharp eyes at the moment she finished the whole line of dialogue, but the viewers only saw her indifference and cried, "Poor Dane, that's just too cruel." And those comments didn't affect the answer Seo Jun gave. "I buried him at the Western Pier." Her body suddenly froze, but she quickly responded, "I understand." Not dwelling on that topic for too long, she offered him a flower-shaped badge with a shine comparable to the falcon one from before. "Use this to contact me from now on." Until the moment Seo Jun received the item, the system also popped up to update the situation. "You have received the signal stone." At the very next moment, Christina used a soft tone belonging only to herself and emphasized each word. "I'm counting on you, Nameless." After chatting with her for a while, he finally accomplished his goal and left the tavern to return to the familiar, quiet void. The next minute, he rubbed his shoulder and let out a sigh of relief. "Got the signal stone. I guess the mission is done for today." A user with the account name Patient Riding a White Horse immediately popped up and asked, "So from now on, should we call the streamer Nameless?" Matters like these didn't fall into the category of things he needed to worry about too much, so Seo Jun agreed bluntly. "Yeah, but I haven't thought of a channel name yet, so for now, you guys can call me whatever." Naturally, this couldn't be missing Jom, who had become his passionate fan. "Oh, Nameless is a perfect name for a top-tier assassin." Because the time spent in the VR pod to complete the beginner stage was too long, he immediately made his choice under the gentle sunlight. "Alright, I'll end the livestream here. I'll go live again at this time tomorrow." The viewers who stayed until the end of the session cheered in response. The first livestream was a great success, bye-bye. This was the first time he had truly communicated with strangers through a screen, so he couldn't help but feel a bit awkward when he slowly raised his hand. Livestream goodbye. However, Seo Jun was not one to be called a viewer magnet without reason, as he had some comedy in the next second. "Wait, so are you guys just leaving?" So the guy, Patient Riding a White Horse, immediately responded, "Of course we're closing the machine to leave, what other way is there, man?" At the moment he turned into a stream of light and almost disappeared, he didn't forget to wonder, "Does this thing auto-save the game?" Making the viewers who hadn't left the room comment, "I swear this guy is hilarious until the very last minute. Oh lord, this newbie is too cute." But no matter what happened, this livestream officially ended at the moment Seo Jun returned to the brightly lit floor. Looking at the numbers displayed on the electronic screen along with the livestream has ended notification, he couldn't help but ponder and then gasp. Wait, all 6 viewers stayed until the very last second. Remembering the viewers who had left a special mark in his heart, even Seo Jun had to admire. Their usernames actually look pretty unique too. At the very next moment, something suddenly appeared and attracted his attention. It turned out that a player from the Future Light Guild had somehow joined Seo Jun's broadcast room. Is this a channel for a sweep playstyle? Seo Jun, still inexperienced as a beginner, found it confusing. Wait, I didn't see any notification for this, did I? And it seemed the viewer count was continuously climbing, which made Seo Jun even more suspicious than ever. Why are so many people popping in all of a sudden? I clearly turned off the stream. After the shocking livestream session from Seo Jun, his phone screen kept flashing with a barrage of comments and hot news about the nobody player climbing to the top. turning the quiet room into quite a lively scene. Lying on his bed, scrolling through the feedback while lazily dragging his finger down the fast-scrolling chat box, Kim Tae-woo couldn't help but exclaim, "The feedback from today's stream isn't bad at all. What content should I do tomorrow?" Just as he was deep in thought, Seo-jun suddenly burst through the door from outside and shouted with great energy, "Hey, Kim Tae-woo!" The phone in his hand instantly flew straight into his nose. "Damn it, you scared the hell out of me." Clutching his face after taking a direct hit from his own device, he gritted his teeth in grievance. "Did you eat your dinner and swallow your manners along with it today, or what?" Ignoring the fact that his friend was on the verge of losing it, Seo-jun immediately shoved his phone toward him with a confused look. "Since I'm a total newbie at this, how did it end up like this?" Tae-woo looked up, puzzled. "What do you mean?" Pointing at the screen where countless player accounts and comments were pouring in, he voiced what he was suspicious about. "How come the chat is still moving like crazy even though I turned off the stream?" Witnessing firsthand the scene of his friend hitting the big time, Tae-woo fell into a state of contemplation for a moment before exclaiming in disbelief, "Are you serious?" After checking back and forth and scrolling through the pile of trending posts on the forum, Tae-woo finally spoke. I think it's because of this." While speaking, he turned the phone screen towards Seo-jun and bluntly brought up the issue with a definitive tone. "This is you, right?" On the mobile device was a video recording the scene where he had cleared the dawn of the assassination squad level, along with a sensational headline. "A beginner parries and clears 13 monsters at the same time in the tutorial level." Watching the share count skyrocket while the comment section was as noisy as an online marketplace, Tae-woo immediately looked envious. "How are you so good? You just debuted and cleared the game and now you have fans doing all the promoting for you." Meanwhile, Seo-jun was blankly confused by this new term, promoting. Seeing that he still hadn't loaded the situation, he pointed directly at the post and frowned, emphasizing every word to his friend. "If this isn't promoting, then what is?" By now, the comment count had reached 154. "This guy's skills are absolutely insane. He's sweeping through the tutorial boss like it's Dynasty Warriors. That perfect parry is god tier, truly legendary. I want to promote this guy so badly I want to share it with everyone. This is too crazy." Seo-jun suddenly recognized one of the users. The Korea's champion assassin was the same viewer from before. Taking the phone back from his hand, Tae-woo gave his own assessment. "At this rate, you're about to hit 30 likes, right?" Then, drawing on his own experience as a streamer, he grinned excitedly and told Seo-jun, "Once you hit 30 likes, you'll be pushed straight to the main page. Your follower count will explode, just you wait." After that, he didn't forget to give a thumbs up, his dark circles prominent under his eyes. "Go to sleep, buddy, you stayed up all night streaming, you're a real pro." But Seo-jun just responded flatly, "Go to sleep now, pro my foot." He said that, but with the starry sky outside, Seo-jun was still lying there scrolling through his phone because the whole experience was still so fresh to him. Even though he had been watching for quite a while, he didn't get bored and kept muttering, "The like count is still going up. So this is the promotion he was talking about." Since it was already too late, Seo-jun decided not to dig any deeper and casually placed his phone on the table. "I guess I'll see what happens tomorrow." The moment the room fell into silence, the video below still had countless likes and comments increasing at lightning speed, as if no one was even thinking about resting. The next morning, the first rays of sunlight pierced through the clouds and covered the dense row of skyscrapers, causing the glass exterior of the buildings to reflect brilliant light across a corner of the sky. Witnessing the series of posts and topics climbing to the top of the search rankings, Seo-jun couldn't help but admit. Just as Kim Tae-woo had predicted, the likes had surpassed 30. With a mind full of rational information processing, he couldn't help but feel anxious instead of happy. Anything that gets hot will definitely lead to arguments and factional bickering. While he was still focused on scrolling down to read more, his sharp eyes suddenly stopped halfway, as if something had caught his attention. The mouse in his hand quickly zipped back up to the post that had just appeared. "This is the Assassin Squad forum, but people are posting about the training area too." When he clicked on it, the entire post shared became clearer along with the headline. "Why is the updated level 10 AI so frustrating? Everyone knows the level 10 AI changed from Heian's data to another player's data, right? The display name is Nobody. Probably because of that, everyone is curious about the identity of Nobody, but I want to talk about its personality. I watched a clip of an acquaintance fighting Nobody. Here it is. I got permission from the original owner to post this." Sweat beaded on his temples. Seo Jun couldn't help but be surprised because clearly that AI was recreated from himself, personality. Meanwhile, the poster continued his long-winded story. The Shin Heian AI used to wait if the player dropped their sword right. Back then, it would just stand there quietly waiting for the player to continue after being defeated. But ever since I met this level 10 guy set with Seo Jun's attributes, this bastard just jumps on you like he's hit the jackpot the moment you show an opening. The moment the player shows any sign of weakness, it just destroys you no matter how much you scream, "I give up." It didn't stop there. This AI was extremely annoying, waving its hand to signal you to come on, making everyone who had encountered it scream. It even acts condescending. Not stopping at just one person being affected, the series of furious comments kept hammering into Seo Jun's head. What the? Regarding the difficult attitude of the new level 10 AI version, he suddenly remembered. Maybe it's because I was chatting with T-Woo while playing that it ended up like that, plus I was grinding the data over and over again so I got bored and stopped doing it properly. He felt a bit wrong. Even though he hadn't been in the VR game for even a day, Seo Jun had already been labeled as a toxic player who likes to troll, which made him feel genuinely heartbroken. So unfair. Just as the forum was split into arguing factions, a social media account suddenly left a comment that drew much attention. "I just watched the clip in the training area and came here, but can I ask, is that really Mr. Nobody?" Reading this, Seo Jun paused for a split second. Someone figured it out, but as soon as he looked closely at the account name, all the tension in him immediately dissipated. Ah, it's that old man Jom, the Korea's champion assassin again. Does he have a sixth sense or something? I'm starting to get spooked at this point. Leaning back in his chair and watching the comments continue to rise non-stop, he silently reconsidered everything. To be honest, I didn't expect to get this much attention. Closing his eyes for a few brief seconds, for the first time, Seo Jun clearly felt the pressure of fame coming on way too fast. But suddenly receiving something so huge isn't necessarily a good thing. However, that thought only existed for a fleeting moment before he quickly brushed it aside. Didn't my experience from my past life already teach me that lesson? Opening the lid of the VR capsule placed next to the table, Seo Jun calmly reached a conclusion for himself. Power that comes before you're ready is nothing but poison. Sitting inside the capsule to prepare to log into the game, he decisively let out every determined word in his mind. Just like this, slow and steady. And then the consciousness transfer system from the game quickly went to work the moment Seo Jun's eyes closed. At the next moment, Seo Jun's eyes opened once again, full of determination and sharpness from a sword god who had been through countless events, big and small. Improving a little every day is enough. Until the last word dropped, which was also the moment the system's light flashed, proving that it was working seriously. A while later, when looking back at his livestream page which had reached 432, he finally had to admit one thing. Just as T-Woo said, the follower count is definitely increasing. Looking at the data series jumping continuously before his eyes, the corner of Seo Jun's mouth curved slightly as the lively memories of yesterday reappeared in his sight. But the annoying thing is, the actual number of people watching the livestream yesterday was only 6. However, he didn't linger in the waiting area for too long but decisively placed his hand on the Start Streaming button. I wonder how many people will come today. As soon as the livestream button was activated, the system interface instantly flashed and a notification appeared right in the middle of the screen. Shin Seo Jun has started streaming. Immediately after that, the game officially opened with its first introduction to a place completely different from the dawn of the assassination squad as he entered Eltian City. Low, dramatic music played, and before his eyes was the image of an ancient castle standing tall. The setting of this game was Eltian City. For a player needing to complete missions, the system didn't forget to provide more data to make things clearer. This place is divided into 4 main areas. The Royal Palace is for those of the royal class and the highest power-holding characters. The Celestial Tower is where the monks and mages reside. The upper-class district is where the nobles live. And the commoner district is located on the outermost part of the city, for ordinary people and all sorts of characters struggling to earn a living every day. Seo Jun's mind kept churning. Players can accept assassination missions anywhere, but I heard that when experiencing it for real, you can still go on random assassinations without needing to accept a mission first. After all the introduction information ended, his journey in Eltian officially began. And at the moment his body was no longer controlled by the system, he raised his hand to wave at the screen, "Hello, live streamer." At that exact moment the chat box, which had been quiet, instantly exploded like a disturbed beehive. Finally got into the room. Let's go guys. Finally got into this legendary livestream channel. Whoa, so it's not actually Jome's channel. I've got goosebumps, Mr. Nobody. As the crowd of viewers was spamming wildly, an outsider account suddenly appeared, full of suspicion. Is this the livestream channel of that famous Jome guy? Less than a second later, another person jumped in to refute him sharply. Not at all, man, wrong channel. This is insane. Seo Jun just laughed calmly and casually explained briefly. That's right, this isn't Jome's channel, and just to correct it, I didn't bribe him either. His words made them laugh out loud, putting an end to the argument in an instant. Just as the atmosphere was still lively, a donation notification suddenly appeared in the middle of the screen. I finally need to know how to do this. Donated 10,000. After watching your clip, I went in to solo it but couldn't beat it. What should I do now? I'll be holding my breath waiting for your answer. Looking at the first donation he had received right in front of his face, he raised his eyebrows in emotion. My first donation ever. But why did you go into the woods like that? However, not bothered for too long with the motto of if you get paid, you have to do the work, he didn't hesitate to give some advice to the other person. Thanks for the 10,000 donation. About that Etter guy, just aim continuously at one spot and strike. It's easy, right? The result was that the chat box instantly went silent for a few indescribably awkward seconds, then all exploded at once. What on earth is the teacher writing on the board? That instruction is so helpful. As a viewer since yesterday, I advise you guys not to ask this guy anything. 10,000 down the drain. Seeing them comment like that, he couldn't help but fall into contemplation and realize, someone donated for the first time and my answer sounded a bit vague, didn't it? So Seo Jun rubbed his chin for a moment and spoke. All right then, if I were to give a useful tip then. He imagined the weak points of the guy on his shoulders, head, and crotch and gave advice. It's best to aim straight for the NPC's vital points. Once hit, they'll panic and lose their footing immediately. Finally, he concluded that the way to deal with Etter is just to strike at one spot, wait for an opening, and stab at the weak point and dodge quickly. As soon as he finished speaking, an account from a player who had just finished the job donated 1,000. I can finally breathe. Others also added, that's hilarious. But Seo Jun just acted confused. Congrats, my friend. It didn't stop there. He scrolled through the IDs that had just commented and grew suspicious. Looking closely, there are many strange nicknames I've never seen before. How many people are watching now? His finger froze in midair when he saw the incredible number displayed on the electronic screen. Currently 327 people are watching live. The comments were now rushing him wildly. So when are you going to post the guide for us? Or is my connection lagging? But he wasn't in the mood to care. 327 people, seriously. This made Seo Jun, who had been through countless big and small events in his past life, break into a sweat in this life. There are way more than I imagined. I thought at most it would be around 100 people. Not discussing that anymore, he looked around and curiously asked everyone, all right, what should we do today, guys? Getting feedback from the fans, the screen audience started suggesting wildly, do a sweep style like Dynasty Warriors streamer. So are we finally going to see some sword dancing? Watching them online making a fuss and criticizing each other, he laughed amusedly. These little brats are having fun together, aren't they? Please don't argue. At this moment, a social media account directly suggested a better direction than the guys above. Just walk around and see what's there, old man. If you want to earn money, take contracts from the Assassin's Guild or pickpocketing is fine, otherwise just go sightseeing in the city. Awesome, that's what a real open world is like. Every comment made sense, making Seo Jun a bit indecisive, so many different opinions. Seeming to have thought of something, the corner of his mouth curved mischievously. Well then, for now. Standing on a crowded street, Seo Jun directly made a bold decision. I'll just try a few light pickpocketing jobs to warm up first and see how it goes. The lively sounds kept echoing throughout the small neighborhood. Cheap, super cheap, come check out the rare items, everyone. Mom, buy me this. Suddenly, a rider appeared, blatantly causing trouble. Move out of the way. He was completely caught off guard when a shadow zipped past him. After that, he aggressively shouted and scolded. Hey, what kind of walking is that? Can't you see the road? Until the other person had left completely, the street was still ringing with his cursing. You ill-mannered brat. Seo Jun not only wasn't angry, but was expertly weaving through the sea of people. He let out a satisfied smile. I tried applying some grappling hands techniques, and who would have thought it'd be so easy? successfully pickpocketed 3 times in a row already. The comment section instantly became turbulent. Wait, is this a martial arts master stream or a thief stream? Seriously? What kind of streamer is this? Did he come from the slums? I heard this guy transmigrated from a martial arts world. The netizens had another big laugh. In general, the funniest part of pickpocketing is being chased by guards, making Seo Jun more and more confident. At this rate, I won't have to worry about starving no matter where I go. The bags full of gold he brought out to show off made everyone shocked. Big brother, you've earned enough to buy a high-class apartment already. Suddenly, a deep, raspy voice broke the silence. Hey kid, stop right there. A tall figure had somehow approached Seo Jun's territory. He probed with some suspicion me. The guy looked annoyed and interrogated. Yeah, who else? You look like you've just made a pretty good haul, huh? He slowly approached, implying, you know that to do business in this territory you need our permission, right? While Seo Jun maintained a calm expression. Business. He went straight to the point. You guys mean this? The guy heard that and was extremely delighted. Yeah, that's it. He put on a sly expression and suggested, seeing that you've harvested quite a bit, share some with us, which made Seo Jun shake his head in disappointment. What kind of game is this where if you don't meet guards while pickpocketing, you meet thugs coming to extort you like this? The comments kept appearing continuously on the screen. The freedom is so crazy. Beat them up, pro. It's time to dance. Finally, are we about to see it? Seo Jun coldly brushed the other person's hand off. I'll clear these guys out too, guys. They quickly became more excited than ever. Right, go ahead and charge. You just need to beat the boss up and it's over. Take down their ringleader and this whole market will be cleared instantly. Seo Jun smiled and put the gold bags away. In that case, the stream's goal for today will be to clean up this market thoroughly. The screen instantly jumped with a series of comments. Is he planning to go find the Butcher Gang too? Thinking of trying his hand at the Butcher Gang? This bet is too good to miss. I bet this streamer doesn't even know what the Butcher Gang is. His face suddenly looked blank. What's a parry? The number of viewers also gradually increased. Alright, let's hit the road. In another place, chaotic sounds also came through. He hasn't gone far, find him fast. Logan couldn't help but be annoyed after losing the prey he had right in front of him. Suddenly, from high above, a hand appeared, as if intentionally hiding its existence. Alpaca's face was now completely pale as he was carrying out an assassination challenge with his bare hands. Oh crap, it looks like I got caught again. He found it difficult to observe the battle below. I swear this camera angle is truly cursed. He seemed so focused that he didn't notice the candle that had reached its limit right beside his hand. The candle ash instantly fell straight onto Logan's head. You little rat. He shouted angrily in warning, I've got you now. Alpaca's body was as if it had been paralyzed. Damn it, caught again. The moment he was discovered was also when the system announced the end of the game. He had to return to the starting line once again. He couldn't even remember how many times he had been caught by their lackeys. Viewers watching through the screen couldn't help but feel helpless. Fourth time already, God, making Alpaca extremely embarrassed. Thanks. He put on a gloomy look and complained, if I can just take down Drake, I can clear the fourth area, but it's too tough. Netizens were also completely helpless before this case. He can pass this. Feels like it'll never be finished. The ones in power are fundamentally unbeatable. Those in power is the term used to refer to the leaders of the gangs managing the fourth area of Eltian City, and they are also the major villains in the game. Among them is the Queen, the leader governing the country. Next is the Master of the Magic Tower, beneath one person but above 10,000. Not to mention the royal leader and the big names in the nobility world. And the ringleader of the Butcher Gang, such as Drake, especially since Drake appears randomly in the lair. Finding him is incredibly exhausting. Alpaca quickly opened the trading frame looking for the secret map of the Butcher Gang while even the viewers were extremely bored. This trick again. He let out a heavy sigh to check where old man Drake was. The result appeared before his eyes, making him even more tired. A theater troupe. He crawled into another annoying place. The notification sound grew louder and louder. Mad Dog donated 10,000. If you're at the theater, just rush in and wreck the map. But I saw someone use a bare hands build to wreck that map, so why are you struggling so much? Alpaca probed with some suspicion. Thanks Mad Dog for the 10,000 donation, but what do you mean by wreck the map? You all know this game doesn't allow playing in a sweep style. The crowd heard that and were extremely surprised. No way, you don't scroll through the community forum. He immediately updated the situation, community forum. His eyes suddenly flashed. Oh, so someone actually did it on the forum. Thousands of beautiful scenarios gradually painted themselves in Alpaca's head. If that person could sweep through this map, then I'll go bow to them as my master and take down Old Man Drake with my own hands. Challenge, streaming overnight. He stated firmly, I will stream continuously until I sweep Old Man Drake clean under my master's guidance. The comment section instantly became lively. The dropout student donated 10,000 won. Do you dare to be responsible for that statement? But he still kept his arrogant, promising look. I accept, why be afraid? I'll be responsible because that's impossible. Money donations are easy to earn. Suddenly, fits of amused laughter reached him from the screen, making him shudder slightly. A crazy thought suddenly flashed through Alpaca. Wait, is this real? He asked in fear. Well, if the person who cleared it is a pro gamer, I'll ask for permission to cancel the overnight stream challenge. The crowd, seeing that, immediately rushed in to tease him, getting scared. The terrible power of netizens was once again revealed. Wake up, Alpaca, go ahead and accept your defeat. The donation amount kept increasing, making him look pale. Mad Dog donated 10,000 won. Alpaca is finished. In complete contrast to that peaceful scene, Seo Jun's side had now reached a state of chaos. Screams kept ringing out in the air. The intruder is on the lower floor, block him at all costs. Dozens of guards gradually gathered to surround the prey. But Seo Jun's calm and relaxed appearance still left everyone stunned. Wait, looking at it, the pro seems to be about to clear the level. Returning 30 minutes before the appearance of Divine Fist's comment. Footsteps kept ringing out repeatedly in the small alleyway. The comment section also didn't stop discussing noisily. Where are they leading him? This alley looks so shady. Seo Jun shook his head boredly. Well, just tail them first. But was immediately shut down by netizens. You don't have any reputation yet, it'll be a long time before you can dig up information about Drake. They all reminded him simultaneously, if you want to find the traitor in the gang, you have to clear all the related side quests first, which made him a bit curious. Is this gang that hard to take down? Viewers couldn't help but feel helpless. Buddy, you're planning to overthrow one of the powers that be. What makes you think it's easy? Seo Jun's face instantly showed a blank look. What on earth is a power that be? The live screen instantly jumped with a series of comments. Our streamer, as expected. Have the newbies seen this yet? This reminds me of the time he asked, what's a parry? Dude, are you kidding us? Everyone had another round of laughter until they were breathless. I'm dying of laughter. I don't think so. Donated 1,000. You don't even know what the powers that be are, but you want to hunt them. Seo Jun's eyebrows met. Well, I'm asking what it is, can someone explain it to me? The crowd started rushing in to mock him. What can you expect from a guy who doesn't even know the game's parry mechanic? Making him feel a bit guilty. Last night I did go online to search for strategies to deal with Drake, but he sighed heavily. The tutorials always exposed the informants, leading to them being hunted down, so picking anyone felt uneasy. Suddenly, he came up with a foolproof plan. Just beat them to a pulp so badly that they wouldn't dare even think about revenge. Problem solved. Way too simple. Suddenly, Jaden's voice snapped him back to reality. Hey you, empty your pockets of anything good while I'm still being polite. He gave a sly smirk, including that wallet you just swiped earlier. The viewers couldn't help but feel embarrassed for him. They knew exactly how this would go, so no one was surprised at all. He's already taken down 13 people, these guys are just mosquitoes. Jaden, still unaware of the danger, boldly stepped closer. Are you crazy? I said empty your pockets. Even Trevor, standing nearby, laughed. Boss, I think this brat is so scared he's gone crazy. They kept mocking Seo Jun's appearance. Go easy on him, boss. Oh look, did we scare you? Be smart and hand over the money and we'll spare your pathetic life. Only the netizens realized the truth. Look at his face, he looks absolutely furious right now. Seo Jun calmly probed, do you guys know where Drake is? Jaden looked slightly confused. He's our boss, of course we know. He lowered his voice, growling each word. Where? This triggered the guy's rage. Are you insane? Why the hell would we tell you anything? Seo Jun clenched his hand into a fist. Is that so? A smirk slowly spread across his handsome face. Then take a punch first and we'll talk later. He amusedly affirmed, it's true that a fist is always the easiest language to understand. Meanwhile, Jaden still hadn't grasped the situation. What the hell is this jerk mumbling about? He angrily roared the command. "Hey, jump on him and teach him a lesson, quick." As soon as he finished, they leaped in, intending to gang up on Seo Jun. But his agile movements allowed him to easily dodge every strike. His close combat ability also grew higher with each accumulation. Dante shouted in frustration, "You little rat." He didn't hesitate to thrust his weapon straight at Seo Jun. On the other hand, he calmly grabbed the person's leg in front of him. Less than a few seconds later, he easily brought his opponent down. Dante was in such pain his eyes bulged, his mouth constantly gasping for air because he was choking. But Seo Jun showed no sign of letting up, taking out his weapon to finish the game. Trevor couldn't hold back anymore and rushed into the fray. "You bastard." He didn't hesitate to deliver a powerful attack onto Seo Jun. At the very moment it seemed like he would win, his body involuntarily trembled uncontrollably. Seo Jun's eyes suddenly became unusually sharp, directly suppressing his opponent with his own killing intent. He didn't bicker anymore and directly took down his opponent. His handsome face was devoid of ripples, as if he was too used to doing this. The space was suddenly quieter than ever, leaving only Seo Jun alone in the small alleyway. The comments section was thoroughly entertained. "Watching this map sweeping is super gripping, right? If anyone thinks maybe I should try it too, just stop dreaming." Jaden was now pale as a sheet. Damn it. Just as the thought of running away crossed his mind, his body suddenly lost the ability to move. Seo Jun sternly interrogated, "Where is Drake?" He remained determined to stick to his initial stance. "Even if I die, I won't." Before he could finish, the sword in Jaden's hand was completely deformed by the overwhelming strength of the person in front of him. Seo Jun's face darkened, growling, "Where is Drake?" This made the netizens completely fed up. "Dude, he's unconscious. How is he supposed to say anything?" A threatening killing intent flashed in his eyes. "Answer me now." The viewers couldn't help but shiver. Is this a new type of torture? This lord is truly insane. Jaden trembled, struggling to speak. 13th Street. His whole body was now flattened against the floor, the biggest theater. The comment section instantly became chaotic. "How is this even logical? This guy is the devil incarnate. What kind of high IQ move was that just now, creating a whole new path? I've got goosebumps. Here's a 1001 tip to block him." "Eder, you tried your best to stop a monster like this." Justice for Eder, so tragic, he sacrificed himself while doing his job. Seo Jun played with the weapon in his hand, bored. "This dagger is so short, holding it is annoying." He scanned the area to check the situation. Is there anything better around here? Suddenly, he saw a useful item not far away. That looks pretty good. The sound of metal colliding echoed continuously from one space to another. Thousands of people scattered in the streets as if finishing their lives if they were a second late. Seo Jun's face remained expressionless as he swept through every terrain. Taking advantage of his agile movements, he easily dealt with everyone who got in his way. Even the most resilient creatures had to fall before his terrifying strength. Seo Jun leisurely admired the achievements he had just created. He shook his head wearily. The game developers are really something, stuffing 30 people into this tiny theater and telling me to go assassinate them. This made the viewers laugh. "Who asked you to speak our minds like that?" Suddenly a bitter voice rang out, shattering the silence. "Approved." As soon as he finished, an object of light was launched into the air in lieu of a declaration of war. Seo Jun's eyes couldn't help but widen in surprise. But very quickly after that, he regained his usual composed state. Suddenly, screeching sounds rang out, directly striking his psychological state. A barrage of daggers flew in at once as if they wanted to claim Seo Jun's entire body. His eyes turned ice cold along with his determined demeanor. In a split second, a storm of swords lunged forward. Seo Jun immediately shattered the attack with a powerful move. So he's planning to block that instead of dodging. His reflex speed is truly terrifying. Heavy footsteps along with a mocking voice rang out. "Not bad." Drake's lips slowly curled up cryptically, but he boldly declared with a provocative posture, "Can you withstand this attack of mine?" The space instantly shook violently. A series of swords flew like missiles. He kept his casual look. "That's a lot of them, man." Seo Jun spun his weapon into a circle. His eyes turned ice cold. The swords immediately stabbed into the wall. Cold, deep cracks were imprinted. Suddenly one sword turned back. It pierced through Drake and embedded itself straight into the wall. "That's amazing." His lips slowly curled up cryptically. "The incoming attacks and he still blocks them smoothly. Is there anything in this world he can't block?" The viewers, exactly. His eyes turned interested. "Not bad, what's your name?" Seo Jun's voice deepened with power. "Nameless." The screen immediately showed a notification. Usually they don't even bother asking for a name. He must be really scared now. Drake's face was filled with complex emotions. Good name, the strong deserve respect. Glowing red spears connected to chains were floating in the air, therefore. He boldly declared with a frantic look, "I'll go all out." It was rushing forward at high speed. He kept his casual look as he faced it. Seo Jun was now surrounded by moving, heavy iron chains. A spear suddenly attacked him from behind. In just a moment, with his agile body, Seo Jun used his leg to launch a powerful counterattack. He fell into a brief contemplation. When it only threw knives, I thought it was easier than ever. Seo Jun's eyes turned dark and heavy. Turns out that one weapon was what stopped everyone from clearing the game. Drake slowly approached with powerful killing intent. He spoke in a mocking tone. "You call this an assassination game, but the close combat design is so invested." The screen immediately showed a message. Maybe the devs actually wanted to steer players towards a warrior-style sweeping playstyle. Since the beginning, close combat has been a huge part of Assassin's Dawn. His lips curled up provocatively. "Not coming up." Drake's eyes bulged with a frantic look. "Then I'll go first." He launched a direct attack at him. Seo Jun paused as the iron chains were about to strike. In a split second, it slid past him decisively. Drake immediately rushed forward when he saw Seo Jun retreating. Notifications kept popping up. Seeing him just standing there blocking all the time. Is Nameless going to die to this Drake guy? That combo was impossible to block from the start. He was acting so cocky earlier too. His face showed complex emotions. This match is clearly tougher than taking down 13 people at once. Seo Jun kept his calm look while facing it, but his lips pressed together. "Even if it's a mountain of blades and a forest of swords, I can still see the path." He rushed in to attack frantically. "They're blocking the way." He suddenly paused and asked suspiciously, "Are there only two of you?" Drake's expression shifted when facing the powerful weapon. "Think I'll let you walk past." His footsteps staggered backward. His whole body trembled as he tried to brace himself. Three-time block. Seo Jun's face showed complex emotions. It's a one-shot move for regular monsters, but for a boss type like Drake, it's only enough to buy time for one attack. He was strictly protected by the iron chains. Even that's hard to eat because Drake's chains protect it so well, hard to hit a decent shot. His lips curled up cryptically, "But that doesn't apply to me." Seo Jun tightened his grip on his weapon. "Because I just need to strike accurately and it's done." His expression turned serious. Seo Jun's footsteps were imprinted on the ground with weight. "The posture I've practiced 10,000 times to hone my sword." Stable stance. He kept his calm look while channeling energy. Then the force from his lower body was firm, superior posture. Seo Jun channeled his internal power to create an extreme sense of pressure before launching the move. His eyes were focused and sharp. Seo Jun's expression was absolutely overwhelming psychologically. The direct strike to the head made Drake dizzy. The frantic strength made him collapse. The screen seemed to explode. What just happened? Drake's armor is broken already, looks easy as candy. The truth is, whenever someone makes something look super easy, it just proves they're a true professional. His face showed complex emotions. "Since this is virtual reality, the body is a bit different, so I wasn't sure at first, but it turned out fine." Seo Jun felt every movement of his body, from his foot placement. He controlled his body rhythmically, rotating his upper torso. Seo Jun briefly fell into contemplation up to the trajectory of his arm. His lips curled up cryptically. Every moment was adjusted to the most optimal posture. Suddenly, the chain lunged like a storm. Even if the body is different, it doesn't matter. Seo Jun's whole body was on high alert. He quickly retreated to dodge the attack. His expression twisted with rage. "You bastard, die." The spears connected to the chains aimed straight for Seo Jun. It wrapped tightly around the weapon in his hand. Seo Jun's eyes became sharp along with his frantic look. He decisively countered, making the space seem to tremble. The chains now lay on the ground, broken into pieces. "That move won't work twice, man." Seo Jun's footsteps became rapid. He jumped into the air and unleashed a fatal strike at Drake. "This is fun." That moment of swinging a weapon like this. Seo Jun's lips curled up mockingly. "The only proof of my past life." Blinding light covered the entire space. The sword stabbed deep into the ground. His eyes turned red and frantic. Seo Jun poured all his strength into his hands. The powerful finishing blow made the space seem to tremble. His health bar was now exhausted. He was indifferent to the notification he received. "You have successfully destroyed the fake boss Drake. Reward, 1 shard." A series of comments were sent. "Nameless is a god. Oh my god, I got to witness the first world clear." Jome's account donated 101. "This is the hope of the warrior school." Seo Jun excitedly spoke. Thanks Assassin Jome for the 101 donation. He suddenly paused when he noticed the viewership. Seo Jun's face showed complex emotions. Since when did the viewership get this high? Seo Jun's mood instantly became empty. He suddenly felt embarrassed, his cheeks turning red. Seo Jun briefly fell into contemplation. Kim Ti-woo had told him not to worry about the viewership, but Ti-woo frantically questioned, even if there's only one viewer at first, you still have to perform with everything you've got. Are you listening? This is the blood, sweat, and tear-soaked advice of this friend of yours. His lips curled up cryptically. But how can I hold back when I'm having so much fun? Seo Jun's face showed complex emotions. Is this also the first time in the world that someone has cleared it? The comments were sent. This is how he proves his strength. Damn crazy. He's really playing a different game all by himself. Blood dripped from the pipe onto the ground. The Spoon Assassin account donated 10,000 won. Scarier is that he actually took it down with an iron pipe. The comments were still discussing, how are we supposed to deal with this if there's no damage buff? How else? He's still going to devour it, which makes it even scarier. He said indifferently, thanks Spoon Assassin for the 10,000 won donation. Seo Jun's eyes became confused. Oh, I have a question. He stood tall amidst the gloomy scenery. Aren't the guards coming? The screen showed a notification. The guards in this world are just like police in movies. They never show their faces when on duty. The guards hid in a corner trembling. The assassin is too scary. They immediately chased after him. These guys are easy, just finish them off. He ran away in fear. Save me. Comments were sent, but when I go pickpocketing, they show up to snoop around. Seo Jun's face showed complex emotions. So that's how it is, then let's go, shall we? The sunset slowly set. He slowly walked through the bustling street. Seo Jun suddenly paused when a call rang out. Nameless. The person in black standing opposite him was covered in a cloak. Seo Jun's voice deepened with power. Who's there? Christina tightened her hooded cloak. Her face showed complex emotions. You've taken down Drake. The screen displayed a notification. Christina is absolutely gorgeous. Christina immediately handed over a bag with a sincere look. Thanks to you, we've taken another step toward escaping oppression. Her face maintained a calm look. Thank you, here is your reward. He paused with a suspicious look. You have received currency. Seo Jun's face became confused. I didn't even accept the quest to take him down, yet there's still a reward. A notification rang. I was just busy looking at Christina's face. What is happening? Exactly, they give rewards regardless even if you don't accept the commission. He sighed. I don't even have anywhere to spend this money. Laughter from behind the screen passed by. There are pipes all over the street. Who needs cash? Seo Jun smirked mockingly. If I weren't getting paid, I don't know why I would have killed him. Drake must be really confused right now. Christina slowly spoke. Where are we going next? He decisively interrupted. Do I necessarily have to tell you? Her face showed complex emotions. All right. Christina decisively turned around and left. Well, I'm heading off then. See you later, nobody. Seo Jun briefly fell into deep thought. He maintained his nonchalant expression. In that case, Seo Jun's gaze drifted toward the ancient castle. Does this count as a successful assassination? A notification instantly popped up on the screen. And when did I ever admit this was an assassination? Do you even know what assassination means? A comment was immediately sent in. That shameless, clueless look is exactly what makes him so charming. His eyes flashed with confusion. Is it time to celebrate the victory now? Seo Jun spoke up with a mocking tone and an indifferent demeanor. I've already finished everything I needed to do. Now I'm off to have some fun. The notification immediately cut him off. Wait a second. The sounds of persistent pleading echoed. Wait a second, how could things end so easily? He ignored the notification decisively. See you next time. At this moment, Seo Jun began to drift into a daze. A moment later, he sluggishly stretched as he woke up. Seo Jun froze upon seeing Ti-woo appear. He immediately questioned him with a dissatisfied look. Hey, why are you being so sloppy? What the hell are you doing in someone else's room? Ti-woo raised an eyebrow and spoke indifferently. I'm off today, so I was just sitting here watching your live stream. It's pretty addictive. Seo Jun was suppressing his anger. Then why are you watching it in my room? And take your feet off me right now. Ti-woo retorted with a mocking tone. My room is my room, and your room is also my room. Why do you have to be so difficult? He frantically hit him with a pillow. From now on, you kids, please hurry up and go to the bathroom. A while later, Seo Jun returned to his nonchalant demeanor. All right, we can continue now. How's the live stream going? Any feedback? T-Woo watched the screen intently and exclaimed, for 440 viewers, this vibe is actually pretty hot. He decisively snatched the phone away. Give it here, let me see. T-Woo protested discontentedly, that's my phone. The cursor immediately moved across the screen. Seo-jun's eyes darkened, filled with a wild look. Where, Drake? The screen immediately notified. Not yet, he's still stunned and hasn't woken up yet. A series of news pages popped up one after another. Who is that guy? Nobody. A featured post read. Whoever doubts nobody is my enemy. Likes 102. They said we should test at her strength, so Drake just took Drake out too. Any thoughts? Sounds like the title of those light novels. What's a shard? I've never seen that before. I played the beta and saw the ending, and I've never seen that item ever. What do you mean? Isn't that rewarded when you defeat Drake? No, it's not just by winning against Drake. You only get it if you defeat him in warrior mode. So curious, it's insane. His expression was a mix of complex emotions. It seems there's still no information about the Shard of Order. Seo-jun froze with a skeptical look. You can only get it in warrior mode. What on earth is this item used for anyway? The phone screen displayed negative comments. If you guys are this excited about your inside jokes, then I'll just like it. T-Woo's mouth curled up with a hidden meaning. Usually when you start getting famous, you're bound to get some hate. His expression was a mix of complex emotions. You also like getting attention, don't you? Seo-jun's voice dropped, sounding heavy. If something like this happens, what would you do? T-Woo still replied nonchalantly. What do you mean, what would you do? We have 400 people watching. T-Woo casually walked out of the room and exclaimed, there are over 10,000 followers on the community forum now. He fell into a moment of contemplation. Is this telling me I need to become even more famous? But how? Seo-jun suddenly froze, full of skepticism. A series of news pages were posted, and his eyes turned puzzled. Alpaca, sharing information about the legendary final capsule of the late great person, the VR machine. Views, 1.7 million. 3 days ago, he loudly declared with a provocative look, I will keep attempting this challenge until I defeat Drake in warrior mode. I am paying my respects to my master. Seo-jun's mouth slowly curled up. Can you really shoulder the responsibility for that statement? I'll take responsibility by failing miserably. T-Woo froze upon hearing the call. T-Woo. He walked into the room and spoke slowly. Do you know the streamer named Alpaca? T-Woo replied nonchalantly. Yeah, I know him. We've collaborated a few times. Why? Seo-jun's mouth curled up with a hidden meaning. I have a little favor to ask. Scene changed to the dense forest. Alpaca sat slumped in exhaustion. I don't even know what failure number this is anymore. His complexion darkened as he watched the screen. M3 is me. You play like trash, just quit the game, give up on this bare hands challenge already. Alpaca's mood plummeted as if falling into an abyss. This malicious little brat, I should have finished Drake off by using the reputation gained from assassinating other NPCs. He suddenly froze with a skeptical look. D-back suddenly appeared with a cold gaze. Alpaca trembled as he approached and whispered, D-back. It immediately spat at him. Everyone, D-back is here to cheer you on. The screen notified, D-back is really here. Alpaca's face darkened with fury. Oh, I've seen this so many times and I still can't stand this trick. His eyes drooped with helplessness. Is there anything else to play with? The screen notified. If I succeed, I will honor that person as my master, learn from them, and continue the challenge until I defeat Drake in warrior mode. Alpaca froze with a skeptical look. What? Someone actually cleared it, you're joking, right? He slowly reached toward the screen. Title link, Scheming Drake, click to view. Alpaca's expression was a mix of complex emotions. For real, you even faked this to trick me. I'm telling you, this trick doesn't work on me. Seo-jun's image immediately appeared on the chat. The first person to clear nobody, Scheming Drake. He felt a chill down his spine. What? Did they really beat it? Who on earth is this person? Alpaca still hadn't recovered. Nobody. A message was immediately sent. He opened it with a skeptical look. Oh, damn it, I got scammed hard. What do I do now? Alpaca's eyes darkened. He watched the message from T-Woo intently. Scene change at the high-rise building of the Korean game company. Steam slowly rose from a cup of coffee. Bae-mo's mouth curled up with satisfaction. He slowly enjoyed it and exclaimed, smells amazing. The door suddenly swung open. Boss. Bae-mo immediately questioned, don't you know how to knock? Kwok-hal replied awkwardly, I'm sorry, boss. Bae-mo frowned with an irritated look. And what is it that you're so panicked about? He replied hurriedly, that's right, we're finished, boss. Kwok-hal's face instantly turned pale with anxiety. One of the powers that be was just defeated. Hearing this, he immediately slammed his hand on the table. And to think he was soloed, that's crazy. Baymo's eyes darkened. Which power that be? His voice dropped heavily. Drake, sir. He sighed and exclaimed, you scared me, thought it was something else. Drake, he was the weakest among them anyway. Baymo maintained his nonchalant look. He was going to be defeated sooner or later. Hal voiced his anxiety, but what if the players start getting curious about the shards of order? He decisively waved his hand. Forget it, you're worrying about nothing. If they collect all the shards of order, it might affect the current plan. But his eyes drooped with a heavy look. From the beginning, you were the one who designed the protection system and put it into the game, weren't you? Shards carrying insane power appeared. Shard of Order 1-4, hidden item obtainable by defeating Eltion's power that be via a special route. The space vibrated as the offensive power struck directly. Item only obtainable by defeating the power that be via solo play. However, among them, the boss blockers cannot be defeated without a certain special technique. The screen immediately notified, special technique not yet unlocked, obtainable via a special path. A helpless sigh echoed, just get tied up already, you're so much trouble. A mysterious skill arranged with many traps. That special technique was also designed so that players would need quite some time to unlock it. The screen turned bright red. You've been playing for over 10 hours, please take a break. A series of articles appeared on the front page. In other words, there's currently no reason to worry. Hal's expression was a mix of complex emotions, but he still felt uneasy and hesitated. What if that 1 in a million chance actually happens, and the person who did it is a streamer who started streaming just a few minutes ago? Baymo frowned with dissatisfaction. You're too noisy, get back to work. He suddenly froze with a skeptical look. About 2 seconds. Baymo's voice dropped with authority. How do you know he just finished live streaming? Sounds like you were watching the live stream during work hours. Hal froze. Well, that's... His eyes widened with dissatisfaction. This time I'm really deducting your salary. He turned around decisively. Please spare my life, boss. Baymo stood up, suppressing his anger. This kid, honestly, let's leave this until the performance review. His mood became flustered. They won't actually collect all of those, right? A skeptical voice slowly echoed. A livestream collaboration. Alpaca maintained his nonchalant look. Well, I told you beforehand, didn't I? Suhan asked, confused. Starting today, sir. He watched the updated information intently. Are you really planning on doing it? Seeing that this collab is useless for finding new talent. His face was a mix of complex emotions. Suhan, you're misunderstanding something. Alpaca clenched his fist and declared, he isn't coming here as a regular guest. He stood up with an excited look. He's a highly sought-after super master guest. Suhan immediately questioned with a mocking tone, a master? Give me a break, he's only been live streaming for a few days. Alpaca raised an eyebrow. You saw the system notification yourself. Do you want me to turn it back on for you to see? His voice dropped with intense killing intent. So what if he's good at an assassination game? I only recognize gamers from professional leagues. Put that away. He sighed and spoke indifferently. This kid is something else. Anyway, can you lend Seo Jun your spare VR capsule later? Suhan frowned. What? You have a spare capsule, right? Alpaca maintained his nonchalant look. I heard his synchronization rate is a bit low. You just upgraded to the expensive kind, so it should work great. He decisively refused coldly. Absolutely not. And didn't you just call him a master? How can a master have such a low sync rate? At least bluff something that makes sense. Suhan turned around and left decisively. I'll sit and monitor the reactions to this collab livestream, so call me when he arrives. His eyes drooped and he exclaimed, this guy is so difficult, why did he suddenly get so angry? Alpaca suddenly froze with a skeptical look. Wait a second. He briefly fell into contemplation and calculation. Doesn't that mean he cleared it solo under less than ideal conditions? Oh my god, then how terrifying is he in real life? Is he a real-life martial artist? If I didn't watch this match, I would have been so out of the loop. Why would you do that? Alright, bye then. Alpaca's face darkened. Damn it, maybe suggesting this collab was a mistake. He froze with a skeptical look. A voice slowly echoed, nice to meet you. Alpaca's complexion turned pale. What? Seo Jun's mouth curled up with a hidden meaning. My name is Shin Seo Jun. He still hadn't recovered. A handsome guy, perfect natural face, he looks much more normal than I imagined. In real life, he's even more handsome than the avatar that went through all those edits. And all this time I thought it was just the magic of the character creator. He looks perfect even with the default settings. His eyes became puzzled. What do you mean by editing characters? A series of comments were sent. Does this guy even know anything? Selling dog meat under a sheep's head. This is really crazy, man. This is enough precedent to file a lawsuit. Don't you feel sorry for the new viewers? Bigger eyes, higher nose, V-line chin, broader shoulders, more muscle. Alpaca became dissatisfied and questioned. We're still setting up, get out of here. I had to put in so much effort to edit my face until my eyes were popping out just to make it look decent. Ti-Woo excitedly spoke. Brother, long time no see, I'm here too. Come on in, brother, he froze. Is that Ti-Woo? Long time no see. All right, please come this way. They answered in unison, excuse us. Seo Jun's expression was a mix of complex emotions. He fell into deep thought. Looking from the outside, you just think this is a normal house. Seo Jun observed the layout of the house intently, but it felt as if he had completely separated his workspace from his living space. So this is what a veteran streamer's workspace looks like. Alpaca spoke nonchalantly. I'll go make some coffee. Everyone, feel free to sit and wait a moment. Ti-Woo excitedly replied, let me help. Ti-Woo whispered with a puzzled look, brother, where did you get the confidence to agree to that bet? You're a good man. He frowned with dissatisfaction. If you came in here just to mock me, then get lost. Seo Jun froze with a calm look. Soohan walked into the room unexpectedly. Hello. His voice dropped heavily. I'm Lee Soohan, Alpaca's manager and editor. He maintained his nonchalant look. Hello, I'm streamer Shin Seo Jun. The handshake happened instantly. Seo Jun's expression was a mix of complex emotions. What's this? Trying to assert dominance. Lee Soohan immediately spoke with a mocking tone. You seem to be extremely good at this game, huh? He replied decisively. I guess so. His eyes dropped heavily. I heard you just started playing recently. Seo Jun's mouth curled up with a hidden meaning. Actually, that's a secret. His footsteps froze. What is he planning to pull now? No way. That bastard Lee Soohan, he declared loudly. I played in a professional league for a short time about 7 years ago. Alpaca's eyes became astonished. 7 years ago. He immediately became flustered and hesitated. Pro-professional league? You were that good back then too. What rank were you? Seo Jun replied decisively, rank 7. Soohan's eyes were still puzzled. I don't think that's true. There's no way someone who dropped gaming for so many years could suddenly play this well. He raised an eyebrow. Well, who knows, maybe it can still happen. He immediately declared loudly and challengingly, then let's have a solo match in the training room and see how it goes. Seo Jun froze. Right now. Alpaca slowly spoke. Why do you want to solo with Seo Jun? Soohan's voice carried provocation. What else? I just want to test his skills. Ti-Woo curled his lip in mockery. For real? You want to solo with him? He frowned and questioned, what about it? Ti-Woo maintained his nonchalant look. Suddenly you're acting so arrogant. I'm only saying this because I want what's best for you, man. Seo Jun's eyes were puzzled. Why are you acting so polite all of a sudden? Ti-Woo's expression became serious. I'm advising you in good faith, don't be foolish enough to solo with this guy. His eyes still carried refusal. Why do you think I'll definitely lose? Ti-Woo maintained his nonchalant look. This isn't even about winning or losing, it's because. His expression became solemn. Ti-Woo declared loudly, brother, this must never get out of this room. Understood. His voice dropped with authority. If you want to fight him in the training room, you'd be better off challenging the level 10 boss instead. He froze with a skeptical look. What? Then don't tell me. Soohan's eyes carried confusion. Is this guy nobody? The start button was projected on the video screen. The first scene showed Seo Jun sword fighting the AI Shin Haein. The two blades clashed, creating sparks and a piercing sound. Finally, as if it couldn't take it anymore, its sword was completely shattered by him. Watching this part, both Alpaca and Soohan had shocked expressions. This is truly insane. The video continued playing, while he clutched his head and said in a panic, he actually did that, but that's AI Shin Haein. As the video was about to end, a proper comment was made. The match was completely one-sided. Aside from the hits he intentionally took, he didn't even get hit once. Seo Jun's voice echoed, if you put in another 80 years of training, you might stand a chance, leaving both of them gaping. Alpaca stood up and exclaimed, this guy's arrogance is truly insane. Wait, why am I suddenly feeling pressured about this collab broadcast? Seeing his attitude, Ti-Woo was extremely satisfied and displayed a proud expression. See, that is Shin Seo Jun. He couldn't help but show a helpless face and thought, why are you the one bragging about it? Watching the video, Soohan suddenly became unusually silent. While the other two were chatting, he called out to Seo Jun. He turned his head and replied obediently, Yes. It was unclear when Lee Soo-han had stood in front of Seo-jun, he looked like he was about to punch the other guy. From now on, the other two weren't in the mood to joke anymore and quickly stopped him. Hey, Lee Soo-han. Brother, wait a second. Who would have thought he would bow his head and shout, I will make you my master. Ti-woo was so startled he climbed onto Alpaca. The others calmly laughed. What the hell, you made me worry for nothing. While Seo-jun was completely dumbfounded, Soo-han was still pointing at himself, declaring, whoever is good at games is my master. From now on, master, just talk to me comfortably. Master, outside, he awkwardly agreed, but inside he was rolling his eyes. Being respected is fine, but considering age, you shouldn't call me master, you should call me your ancestor. This kid, if I count my past life, how old am I now? Ti-woo had calmed down and was now laughing teasingly. Since it's not a big deal, let it go. Look at his clueless face, he said, only to get a paper box thrown at his head immediately. While Alpaca was pondering the strange issue and more importantly what the story about 7 years ago was, the other two started teasing each other. If you've got the guts, just jump in and fight. His eyes focused on Seo-jun. No way could Seo-jun really have been playing for that long. The other party, clueless and annoyed, said to the person leaning right into his face, looking at your face is damn irritating. What did you say? Seeing Alpaca so quiet, Lee Soo-han poked his elbow. Hey, what are you two doing? He pointed at the two over there and announced, it's almost time for the big livestream, boss, we need to get ready. Only then did he snap back to reality. Right, is it that time already? Recalling what he had just been thinking, Alpaca secretly dismissed it. No, I'm probably just overthinking it. Then he called out calmly, Seo-jun, shall we go? Just as he was about to throw the paper box at Ti-woo again, he turned around and replied, sure. He gave instructions, first head to my machine, but was cut off by Soo-han, who was incredibly excited. Follow me this way, boss. Though a bit confused by the other's display of respect, Seo-jun didn't refuse. Thanks. Hearing that, he happily replied, oh, you truly are a god. Paying no mind to Alpaca, who had a red handprint on his face. Talk about a quick change of heart. A notification appeared. Alpaca has started streaming, and countless comments immediately followed, showing everyone's excitement. It's here, thump 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 thump. I've been waiting for this, I'm watching while hugging a box of fried chicken. The screen showed Alpaca's cheerful face. Before getting to the main point, he asked a question to lead everyone on. So happy to see you all again. Everyone knows what day it is today, right? The reaction in the comments wasn't very interested. As if we came here not knowing that, just get Alpaca's face out of the way, please. Reading that made Alpaca grumble gloomily, what the hell, this is my stream, did no one come here to watch me? People teased him amusingly, exactly. Yup, got a problem with that? While he was sniffling, a friendly comment appeared, oh, not at all, I came here to watch Alpaca. Making Alpaca light up with joy. Oh, big brother Yellowtail, did you really come to watch me? But that person's true purpose was to watch the non-stop grinding stream. His mood constantly shifted from a moment ago. No grinding today, okay? Get this kid out of here. The viewers amusingly flooded the chat with haha symbols. But some paid attention to something else. Hey, why aren't you grinding today? Alpaca seemed quite pleased with this question. Why am I not grinding today? Good question. Then he drew out his tone, because today is... Someone even commented with heartbeat sounds to make the situation more exciting. Thump, 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 thump. Finally, he stated the answer with eyes burning with determination. Warrior will be the game we're going to rock today. Someone amusingly commented, this guy is damn excited. Then he pointed toward a rather large wooden barrel and introduced, right now, I'd like to introduce the professor who will teach me the warrior's secret tips today. Seeing the wooden barrel suddenly crack open with a golden light flashing, the comment section became noisy again. Did this guy just kidnap a grandmaster? What kind of spawn effect is that? After the wooden planks fell away, Alpaca's excited voice rang out. Please welcome streamer Shin Seo-jun, come on out. But to everyone's surprise, the inside was completely empty. Leaving him completely stunned, the comment section asked, what is this? Why hasn't he shown up yet? They teased him again, a remote collaboration? All right, stop daydreaming, Alpaca. But now Alpaca was focused on something else. Did something happen? Why isn't he there? Viewers came up with guesses. That grandmaster is probably just an imaginary friend of Alpaca's. Shin Seo-jun, yes, but we're not collaborating until tomorrow, man. Alpaca, oh my god, Shin Seo-jun, I'm not coming because you haven't paid me enough. Alpaca, he got furious and countered. It's not a remote collaboration, guys. But no one believed him. Stop lying, man. Looks like we're back to pulling all-nighters grinding again. Let's go, guys. Seeing that, Alpaca finally played his trump card. Look at this. It was clearly written on the system board. We even planned to go for a round 2 online afterward. Suddenly, a new notification appeared, message from Shin Seo-jun. He opened it and read, "Hey Alpaca, it's Shin Seo-jun here." 2 follow-up messages from Seo-jun. "Oh, I don't know how to get into your waiting room. Hey Alpaca, can you send me an invite? Heh heh." The viewers stared at the screen with wide eyes. The comments section erupted again, typing heh 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 sounds so damn smug. Is this an act or for real? Meanwhile, Alpaca forced a smile and sent room information 1000. But he was panicking on the inside. That's what I want to ask too. Is this guy serious? Is he just acting to heat up the stream? After some advertising, Seo-jun appeared with a radiant smile. "Hello everyone, I'm sorry for being late. I'm streamer Shin Seo-jun." The latecomer had finally revealed himself. The two sat on the straw mat, Alpaca waving his hand saying it was a common occurrence. "Anyway, technically speaking, you're still just a total newbie." Hearing that, the viewers fired comments straight at his heart. "A newbie? Man, not being able to get into the waiting room is a bit too much. It's Alpaca's fault for not preparing early. And yet, this guy is asking to be an apprentice to that newbie." While the other person was reading the comments, he secretly checked the screen. The attraction wasn't small, it was about to hit 20,000 viewers. But he thought helplessly, but why does it feel like? Comments with nasty but teasing tones appeared. "Give up on real life and go back to grinding in the game. Isn't your life a game already? Back to reality, losing to a newbie. I've been too busy living real life lately." The comments in this room seem a bit toxic, don't they? Seeing Alpaca's sad look, Seo-jun secretly speculated. It feels like using the streamer as a laughingstock has become a content genre of its own. The chat box for each room varies depending on the streamer's personality. Some streamers love pinning viewers down to yell at them. "Any other kid want to mess around? I'm sorry, boss. Don't you dare do it again." "Yes, boss, the guard is truly great, boss. Banned for one glorious day." Meanwhile, some other streamers aim for a completely clean broadcast, civilized. "But I actually quite like this free and easy atmosphere." Though he liked it, the comments were teasing a bit too much. "You're so damn bad at this game, just quit already. Look at that skill level. What now, leaving an old man like him helpless? Please show some respect to your elders. Surely I won't get roasted for my skill level, right?" After some back and forth teasing, Alpaca clapped his hands. "Now then, to the main point. As you all know, thanks to Seo-jun taking down Drake, I finally have to carry this non-stop grinding stream bet." He had barely gotten serious when the comments attacked. A user named Somefool generously donated 1001. "If anyone successfully pulls that off, I'll make them my master, follow their teachings, and stream non-stop grinding until I take down Drake on warrior mode." "Oh, the chat is hurting my feelings." He gritted his teeth and threatened. "I'll actually ban you for real, you hear? I've got to slap that big mouth one for them to shut it." But they weren't afraid at all. Is Alpaca being roasted until he's pissed off now? He couldn't hold it in anymore. Seo-jun turned his face away and covered his mouth. Despite hiding it, it didn't escape Alpaca's eyes. "You shouldn't stand there laughing, Seo-jun. If you hadn't taken down that Drake, I wouldn't be doing this exhausting grinding stream. Paying the price for the karma I caused myself." He giggled and replied, "That is true. I do feel a little bit responsible for you, Alpaca." Hearing that, Alpaca said with satisfaction, "Right." But Seo-jun's next words made the other unable to laugh. "It's my fault for taking him down without realizing that someone out there was confidently declaring that Drake couldn't be taken down on warrior mode on the second day after the game's release." Alpaca wept in his heart. "Man, saying it like that, where can I hide my face? What do I do now?" The viewers also took this opportunity to tease. "The roasting match begins." Translation: "Sorry, but that was completely your fault. Alpaca is damn stupid." He watched Seo-jun, who was laughing and chatting with the comments. He's unexpectedly sweet. Looking at the relaxed demeanor of the other, Alpaca secretly thought, with this many viewers, he doesn't look worried at all. On the contrary, he looks like he's actually enjoying it. I can relax and continue the live stream. After thinking, he made a cute face and said, "Yes, I know I'm wrong, so please save me from my past mistakes, great master." Seo-jun modestly nodded in agreement. "I will do my best, Alpaca." Hearing this, Alpaca happily raised 2 fingers and began to explain the mission for today's livestream. Now let's go. There will be a total of 2 content parts that I will carry out with Seo Jun today. The first part is entering the game with Seo Jun to receive his instruction. The next part is still a secret, until the day this warrior grinding stream bet succeeds. Before heading into the match, he asked a bit, "Hey Seo Jun, which basic skills have you upgraded?" He suddenly said in surprise, "Skills." Then he honestly reported, "I actually haven't upgraded any," leaving him unable to help but ask in amazement, "For real, in this day and age, who grinds a game by hand without upgrading any skills? Have you really not used a single skill until now? What about the basic passives that increase attack speed, movement speed, or damage? This is a real masochist situation." Seo Jun pondered a bit, then indifferently scratched his cheek and replied, "I've never even touched those. Are they mandatory to use?" This is truly an earth-shattering statement from a veteran grandmaster who specializes in running around everywhere while only wearing boxers. The livestream screen showed Alpaca's jaw dropping, that ugly face of his whenever he gets panicked. A moment later, he regained his voice. "What?" Seo Jun thought distractedly. "The truth is I don't use skills because I don't know how to use them, but saying it straight like that sounds a bit pathetic, right?" So he wore a confident smile and replied, "I just don't feel like it's very necessary." The comment section was surprised by his coolness and didn't forget to turn to tease Alpaca. "He's actually crazy. Try imitating that style. If an alpaca from the potato lab dares to bark that he'll take someone down barehanded, he should at least be able to do this." Meanwhile, he was forcing a smile, not knowing what to say. Why suddenly? "Since Seo Jun appeared, I've had the feeling everything is against me. The viewership is rising, let's try to hold on a bit longer." For the sake of his goal, Alpaca had to try and smile brightly. Anyway, the second part of the content I'll perform with Seo Jun involves that skill. He played a video and asked, "Has everyone here ever seen a video like this?" On the video were 2 men sword fighting. The other's sword gradually cracked and finally couldn't take it anymore and shattered completely. The system displayed a notification, "Weak point detected. Required quest skill unlocked. Destroy 10 weapons by finding their stress lines." 210. After watching, everyone was endlessly curious. Is he actually planning to do this? No way, what the hell is he doing? Alpaca continued to explain. "Guys, surely everyone knows the concept of stress lines that appear in fantasy novels, right? That's the fatal path that makes it easy to split an object in 2. Just finding 10 lines like that and the weak point targeting skill will be unlocked." At this moment, someone asked, "So what?" 2 fingers were raised in front. "To date, I've found a total of 2 stress lines. One is the willow sword that was accidentally broken in the video we just watched. The other is the crack of a longsword that I learned through a side quest NPC. Someone paid attention to something else, but what kind of skill is that weak point targeting skill anyway?" But Alpaca wasn't very clear. "Who knows, that's the final skill I haven't unlocked yet." Then his eyes flashed, but I heard Seo Jun say that he thinks. With sparkling eyes, Alpaca turned his attention to the person who had been silent until now. He can figure out the pattern behind those stress lines. But sure enough, no one in the comments believed him. "Hey, don't brag too early. Stop bullshitting us, man. How could anyone know something like that? Is this newbie a gaming god?" To this reaction from them, he didn't get angry but advised, "Oh, everyone, please calm down a little." Then he excitedly offered an attractive proposal. "But never mind, I bet we should make a bet on whether he finds that pattern before today's stream ends." The streaming platform has a channel point system. You just watch the stream and the points increase automatically. Comments appeared, "Alpaca, please play a horror game." And those points can be used to redeem chat effects or make crazy requests of the streamer. These points can't be exchanged for cash. However, there is another real reason why viewers are extremely fond of these points. It's the point prediction game where viewers use points to bet on the outcome of the stream. The channel point prediction game has begun. A large screen appeared behind Alpaca. "Alright, I've given you guys plenty of time to lock in your orders. Bet at your leisure." Prediction game, will he manage to find 1 or 2 stress lines by pure luck in today's stream? Will he find 3 or 4? What is this nonsense? Will he fail just like everyone else? The commenters said, "It's clear he won't find them, better pick the safe door to be sure." Someone angrily commented, "What are those people betting on the lower door thinking?" After reading, Seo Jun curiously asked, "What are the safe door and lower door things?" He answered the question, "The safe door is the outcome that is more likely to happen, but if you win, the reward rate is very low." The lower door is for bets with low chances of winning, but once you hit, you eat big. On the prediction board, everyone's predictions were displayed. Will he find 1 or 2 stress lines by luck? No. Will he find 3 or 4? What is this nonsense? Will he fail just like everyone else? No, he's an alien with a third eye that can see through stress lines, from 4 lines up. A moment later, he finally understood, so he gave a dead fish eye look and asked, "So, betting on me finding 4 or more lines is called going for the lower door?" The person was a bit confused and answered, "As of right now, that is indeed the case." Seo Jun said into the screen, "Guys, if everyone goes all in on the 4 or more door, the payout is 100 times, you know." Everyone didn't quite believe this. "Trust me, I don't know where you get that excessive confidence, man. How can you be so sure? There's even a guy tipping more." The Assassin Jome account donated 10,000 won. "I've trusted Seo Jun and gone all in with all the points I've saved for 3 years on the 4 or more door. Am I crazy? Truly a factory-made chicken." Seeing the money donated, he calmly declared, "Oh, congratulations to you in advance. You're about to eat big, 100 times your bet." Finally, Assassin's dawn began. An ancient castle appeared amidst the night with a full moon. Blood splattered onto the ground. A large cut was dealt to Andre's face. The one who caused this was wearing a savage smile, holding a sharp sword. The kid was trembling, begging, "Boss, I'm sorry, please spare my life." But he was slashed across the face by the sword again. Perhaps because the blood stains made the atmosphere and even the moonlight seem dyed red. Lewis threatened, "Try running away. If you can run, I'll let you live." Hearing this, even though he was in pain all over, Andre still tried to crawl away to escape. Someone saw this scene and added, "He's the son of Richard Neville, the ruler of the far northeast." No wonder Seo Jun felt it was familiar. "That's the brat I saw in the video earlier." Alpaca raised an eyebrow and suggested, "First, we have to check his skills, right?" A sword appeared out of thin air, a normal sword. The craftsmanship wasn't anything too outstanding and there were no flaws either. Supplier, Alpaca. After receiving the item, he jumped to the ground, leaving the guy talking to everyone. "Now listen everyone, even if you know where to strike to break it, actually doing it isn't easy at all. Just reenacting that video is harder than the blocking game, according to me." Suddenly a tragic scream rang out, startling Alpaca. The owner of this scream was Andre, who was being slashed from chest to abdomen by Seo Jun, and his body crashed to the ground. In just a few seconds, he had finished defeating the target. The system displayed a weak point detected notification, quest skill unlocked, destroy 10 weapons by finding their stress lines. Count, 110. Everyone was noisy at this sight. "Huh, you said this was hard earlier." A grandmaster is a grandmaster for a reason. Have those who bet on the safe door started eating their rewards yet? Alpaca approached, excitedly praising, "As expected, you hit it in one go. Clearly, your level is on a completely different plane compared to us." In his heart, he added, "I had to fail over and over again to hit it by luck once." He laughed and reminded him, "But you know that this trick hasn't been clearly proven yet, right?" The other calmly replied, "That is true, but now it is certain." Hearing that, Alpaca asked confusingly, "What is certain?" Seo Jun's lips curled into a smile, "That the pattern I figured out is completely accurate." This cool statement received many nasty but realistic comments. "Stop bluffing, man." Yeah, sure. Everyone be careful, don't get scammed into buying fake cream." Making him unable to help but smile awkwardly and remind them, "Everyone, please calm down. Hey guys, please don't say such bitter things to Seo Jun." Suddenly cavalry appeared and shouted, "Intruder!" The intruder had appeared. But facing such danger, he laughed. "All right, hearing 100 times is not as good as seeing it once, so I'll perform it for everyone right now." Seo Jun's eyes lowered and became sharp, a weak point that could be completely destroyed. The thing that people said only high-level Shaolin monks who had reached the state of clairvoyance in his past life could see. Although my martial arts back then were very high, I wasn't a monk, so I couldn't see it. But even so, I can still do a similar trick. Images from his past life appeared continuously. Just like back then, I just need to grasp the opponent's intent, the intent of the creator. All I need to do is get a hold of it. While he was closing his eyes to reminisce and concentrate, the comments section was still clueless. "Why are you closing your eyes? Wait, have you given up already?" Because vision wasn't needed, Seo Jun's remaining senses were extremely sharp, making it easy to block the cavalryman's shield. The cavalryman was startled to realize something. The sword slashed diagonally. Everything suddenly became silent. Alpaca stood behind, watching in a daze. Suddenly a crack appeared. His next sword swing caused the cavalryman to completely shatter, literally. Stone rubble flew past Alpaca's face, which was wide open in astonishment. Alpaca was so excited his face turned red. He's truly crazy. While he was admiring it in awe, the comments section started to get noisy again. He actually pulled that off. What the hell did I just witness? Alpaca clutched his head and muttered repeatedly. He found it, and he did it with his eyes shut tight. What the heck is this? Is he actually a monster? Everyone quickly chimed in. I swear I'm not even kidding. What exactly is he seeing? This is top-tier genius level, hands down. Unable to contain his eagerness, he ran towards Seo-jun and asked, "No way, Seo-jun, how on earth did you?" Suddenly, a ping sound caught their attention. Even though they received a donation, the sender's words were extremely biting. Account, oh well, it's all staged, donated 1,001. Haven't you two been sitting there checking this out together since yesterday? Watching this blatantly staged act is just disgusting. That one comment sent Alpaca into a frenzy, triggering a back-and-forth argument. Staged? No way. I thought Seo-jun was just bluffing earlier. Who knew he was this legit? As the comments began to spiral from the event, the guys who bet on the safe zone must be furious right now. Fake streamer. Apologize? Scam, it's a scam, a scam. Hey streamer, that's my tuition money, have some mercy, won't you? Is this for real? The truth hurts. Life is like a joke and the joke is like reality. I told you to trust Mr. Nobody. Boycott the fake streamer. Seo-jun nonchalantly twisted the knife further. I told you to trust me and place your bets. This caused someone who couldn't take it anymore to cry out, "It's too late, man." Suddenly, he remembered something and smiled. But that's strange, right? It's not just the safe zone bettors who are about to be ruined, are they? Seo-jun slowly recalled the prediction board Alpaca had introduced earlier. On today's stream, he'll luckily find 1 or 2 glitches. Maybe he'll find 3 or 4 at most. Mr. Nobody will end up empty-handed like the rest of us. Then he softly breathed out, "No risk, no reward. Only 1% of you guessed that I would find 4 or more. Are you guys chatting here all part of that 1%? Hearing that, the audience immediately expressed all sorts of different emotions. Oh man, we're doomed, that's for sure. Yeah, it's like we're all doomed together for fun. Does that even count as luck? Making Seo-jun burst into loud laughter. These people really have that mindset where as long as they aren't the only ones failing, it's fine. That's the general mentality of Koreans. Alpaca sighed inwardly. This kid can tease the audience and still lead the flow of the match without making them hate him. He's not just good at gaming, he's also got a knack for being a streamer. Then I won't have to struggle to carry the livestream by myself anymore. Thinking that, Alpaca happily waved to interact with Seo-jun's audience. Come on, everyone calm down a bit. Seo-jun, how on earth did you get so good? Let the brothers in on the secret. The viewers hearing that were so nervous they became restless. So curious, I don't know how he trained to get that level. What does he even do in real life? So curious about this guy's real profession. Seo-jun didn't even think about it and replied straight out, "Well, first of all, I'm just a normal guy in his 20s. That sincere way of talking completely shocked Alpaca to his core. A split second later he jumped up noisily. Give it a rest with the lying. What part of you is normal? Alpaca remembered the moment he introduced himself before entering the game. My name is Shin Seo-jun, he roared angrily. That face cannot be called normal. Stop lying. That slightly excessive reaction naturally left the audience confused. Is Seo-jun really that handsome? That comment caught the eyes of both streamers and Alpaca hurriedly lowered his voice, acting a bit crazy. Everyone, the looks you see of Seo-jun on the live stream are his bare face in real life, no filters at all. A few seconds later, a series of comments flashed across the screen. No way, aren't the developers planning a balance patch? Oh, handsome and skilled, this is way too op, everyone. Suddenly, the system fired off fireworks, making one comment stand out clearly. Donation of 10,000 won, there must be something small, I swear. That style of donating money to show his inner thoughts made Alpaca freeze and think for a few seconds. Before he clicked his tongue, got it, I get it now. Alpaca's look, as if he was about to make someone suffer, made the audience excited. Oh, is he about to get banned? Definitely getting the ban hammer. Yet the system continued with a donation from the same person for 10,000 won. Thought would. Alpaca, who wasn't happy to begin with, gritted his teeth as if to say, are you trying to mess with me? Seo-jun, do you need me to ban him? Seo-jun, who was watching the show, had to reach out and stop the human chihuahua. Let it go, it's fine. Because that comment didn't even leave a scratch on his heart. Receiving that command, Alpaca looked at the comment screen and hissed a threat. I'll let you off the hook this time. Suddenly, a comment popped up. The admin just walked by with a knife. It turns out that while Alpaca was busy acting tough in-game, Suhan was also quietly having a discussion with that person in the chat. Do you know what the name of this knife is? Behave yourself, okay? A hilarious scene that kept the commentators happy. Look at his reflex to donate money to save his own skin. Seo-jun finally cleared his throat. Alright, let's get back to the game now. Alpaca took the opportunity to clap his hands once, then turned to speak to him. Seo-jun, how on earth did you do that? Seriously, I didn't see any openings at all. He tilted his head in confusion. Why is that? Under the curious gazes of the audience, Seo-jun hurriedly cleared his throat because he was too tense. Then he showed his emotionless face to act mysterious. I just naturally knew because I'm a genius. A simple sentence not only made Alpaca's ears itch, this guy, but almost every viewer and admin watching the live stream froze. What on earth is the secret? It took a few minutes for the commentators to wake up and laugh at Alpaca's dumb kid expression. So annoying. Look at Alpaca's face. He saw those laughs being fired straight at his face and shivered as he spoke. Please don't do that. Have some mercy and show us. Who knew Seo-jun wouldn't recognize his suffering and would gently share. I was just trying to put myself in the devs' shoes to see what they would do. That simple piece of information shocked Alpaca. You mean you could read the devs' minds just by looking at 2 examples? Done. Seo-jun was quite cute as he paused to arrange his words to explain the other's suspicion. That's right. For example, parrying is a system designed to clear normal mobs, right? Hitting an opening is much harder, but even if successful, it only damages the weapon and doesn't deal extra damage. In short, there's no need to use the opening system for normal mobs. What's the easiest way to jump higher? Seo-jun's point was to look at the big picture and choose the best option to climb the ranks, which earned him a sincere compliment from a commentator. Oh, that's sharp. Seo-jun didn't see that comment and continued his speech. Then there's only one answer. The opening system is reserved for bosses. The explanation made perfect sense, which made Alpaca excited, muttering, makes sense. Bosses are clearly much tougher than normal mobs to defeat with just parrying, especially Drake. As if wanting everyone to see him as a deep-thinking madman, Seo-jun suddenly made a statement. Since we're talking about this, I'll try to take down the possessor right now, making the audience go wild. Ah no, the guys who bet on the lower bracket are already screaming, this is going to wipe out all my channel points. Please find something else to be safe with before you deal with the possessor. Seo-jun, the demon, smiled happily looking at those crying icons, then turned to open his mouth to the blonde guy opposite him. Alpaca, let's make another bet on channel points. When he showed his cluelessness, what? He said his thoughts nonchalantly. Will I be able to destroy the possessor's equipment today? Then he conveniently opened the system to update the situation. The channel point prediction is starting. Prediction: Shin Seo-jun will be able to destroy the possessor's equipment today. After setting everything up, Seo-jun gently said to the audience, you know the rules, right? Just trust me and follow along. A moment later, some ancient building was taking enough staggering attacks. Waiting for the smoke and light to clear, 2 tall figures appeared strangely. Richard Neville shouted angrily, letting his voice echo into the air. I will take your head to avenge my son. His eyes were filled with blind hatred, looking at the person still breathing opposite him. As soon as Richard Neville lunged toward his opponent, Seo-jun gently tilted his body, dodging the slash gracefully. While the opponent hadn't managed to retreat yet, he slashed hard at Richard Neville's large blade. But he just looked at his sword and muttered, how are you using tricks like that already? The moment he finished, Richard Neville swung his sword at Seo-jun's head to deal with his opponent, making Alpaca, who was watching, break out in a cold sweat. This time I can't find any openings either. It's been a while, hasn't it? Is it really impossible to find one? According to the viewer's chatter. That thought hadn't finished forming before Seo-jun's mocking voice cut through everything. You thought I couldn't find one just now, didn't you? Suddenly being called out of the blue made Alpaca answer awkwardly. Wait, I'm so far away, how did you know? Spot on. That hilarious look made the audience show all sorts of reactions. Caught red-handed, you can tell he's doomed. Damn it, this is a total loss. Mr. Nobody, be careful at night. Alpaca felt a chill down his spine and had to yell immediately. Guys, they say Richard Neville's weapon is made of a special material. Maybe it doesn't even have any openings. Seo Jun finished his stance and whispered coldly, "Oh, is that so?" He silently searched for the fatal weak points on his body, then spoke gently, "It's not much different from the Reaper's aura. Let me check if it's really flawless." As soon as Richard Neville swung his sword down to deal with his opponent, Seo Jun calmly ran up, slashed his blade, and made a line between the opponent's large blade. That image made him shout angrily, "How many more times do you intend to use that trick? It doesn't work on me." Who would have thought that not only would Seo Jun not care about the opponent's words, he also stabbed his sword hard into the end of the blade in Richard Neville's hand, then hurriedly made a slash from that spot straight to his shoulder. That image quickly shocked Alpaca, hit not yet. While everyone else was deep in thought, Seo Jun flicked his blade down onto Richard Neville's body. Waiting until the sword made contact with his thigh, he then sprinted away. Just with those simple actions, the system quickly notified, "Quest, acquire weak point detection skill, unlock condition, destroy weapon 10 times via opening technique. Count 410. A series of notifications followed. 510, 610, 710, 810, 910. As the system reached that point, Seo Jun heard a shattering sound from Richard Neville's armor. While Alpaca and the viewers were still shocked by Seo Jun's aura farming, what the heck? He just stood there silently, listening to Richard Neville cough up blood. Because that was also when the system finally delivered the decisive result. 1010. Weak point detection skill acquired. An hidden image quickly appeared before Seo Jun's eyes, making him let out an unconscious "ah." Under the confused gazes of the observers, Seo Jun gently revealed his emotionless face to act mysterious. "My mistake, the sword really has no weak points, but his body does." Not sure how much time had passed, the VR machine outside slowly opened. Seo Jun just woke up and sat up, letting out a sigh. But before he could catch his second breath, Suhan bowed seriously, "Master, you're absolutely amazing." The noisy sound made Seo Jun a bit awkward. "You're still here, he really hasn't left yet." He hurriedly stepped out and scratched his head. "Thanks for letting me borrow the capsule." Lee Suhan still maintained his position and replied seriously, "It's nothing, I'm the one who should be thanking you, Master." But the next second he hugged his machine and cooed, "I'm sure my capsule learned a lot from this experience." That action not only gave Seo Jun a headache and goosebumps, even the machine with a soul would say, "I've got goosebumps too." A while later, Seo Jun saw that it was getting dark, so he decided to step into the living room. What's this? You haven't left yet?" Ti Wu leisurely ate a chocolate cookie before excitedly continuing the conversation. "I turned off the stream completely, no way I was going to miss this collab." "You're the one who needs to get lost." Suddenly hearing that made Seo Jun raise an eyebrow in confusion. "Get lost where?" Done just a split second later, he forgot about his friend's teasing and changed the subject. "Oh, that's right." At the same time, Alpaca's chat room started going crazy. "Alpaca, get out of our sight." "Get lost, we don't want to see your boring face." Get lost, hurry up and bring Seo Jun out, who needs you." "Hide it, get that ugly face out of here. We didn't come here to watch you, go play somewhere else." The audience's rejection of him made him hurriedly act, "Hey everyone, please calm down first." Who knew that someone wouldn't bother talking nicely but would stick a mute button on Alpaca's mouth? "Shut up, Alpaca." But when the light on his phone turned on, a sense of confidence started to boil over, allowing him to quickly regain his momentum in front of the annoying audience. "All right, looks like he's ready. Let's give a big welcome, Shin Seo Jun." The door to Alpaca's room slowly opened, bringing a beam of light into the dark space inside. Except for Alpaca, who was acting all stuck up, the rest were shaking their heads at Seo Jun's fairy-like beauty. "Hello everyone, this is my first time meeting you in person." The man had an impeccable beauty, truly stunning, a perfect face without any need for filters. He gently flashed a bright, sunny smile and greeted politely, "I'm Shin Seo Jun, a travel streamer." A while later, Alpaca pulled him to sit next to him and started happily gossiping. "How is it? What do you guys think? Seo Jun is really handsome, isn't he?" The audience, having just fed on Seo Jun's superhuman beauty, immediately started trolling Alpaca. "Why is he this handsome in real life? This is so unfair to Alpaca, that's life for you. You can shave down your nose and chin, but Alpaca will still look ugly. Let it go, he's deeply hurt." When he hurriedly protested in despair, "Hey, I actually looked pretty good in real life too. I've just put on a bit of weight recently." The commentators didn't mind showing off their talent for stirring the pot, which made Seo Jun have to swallow hard. "You call that just a bit of weight? Is it really just weight?" Suddenly, I feel sorry for him being roasted for no reason. Why pick a fight on a bet you knew you'd lose? It's fine, we don't watch your stream for your face anyway. Hearing that, Alpaca knew he had completely lost this battle and could only answer weakly, "Thanks a lot, I'll go prepare some stuff first." A comment quickly appeared on the screen, "Alpaca is running away," which made Seo Jun have to act fast to interact and keep the views up. "He's just going to make dinner. Our next activity is going out for a group meal." He hadn't managed to lean back to relax when the system suddenly boomed. Oppa donated 50,000 won, and it came with a message that was both sweet and sincere. "Oppa, I love you," making Seo Jun shyly sit up and scratch his head. "Thanks, friend, but are you a girl?" He hadn't even gotten an answer when a series of comments from female fans came flooding in. "Get lost, Oppa, my foot." At this point, the system set off fireworks again. "Me Too" donated 50,000 won, making Seo Jun frown with suspicion. However, this person asked a very sincere question. "I want to learn the weak point detection skill. Can you do a few more examples of movement?" Other viewers quickly skipped the old topic to comment, "Seriously, that was so epic earlier." Thanks to that, Seo Jun had a chance to lean back and think of an explanation before replying. He began to turn back time to recall the moment he stood silently while battling Richard Neville. Seo Jun gently spoke confidently, "Weak point detection. It's a skill that strikes at the weak point, allowing you to destroy equipment by slashing along marked lines." The one-of-a-kind explanation left the audience completely helpless. How did he break Richard Neville's shoulder armor during a fight? Hitting the weak point of normal NPCs is already hard enough, let alone a possessor. Seo Jun waited for the audience's reaction to heat up, then immediately poured cold water on them. "No way I'm revealing it for free. Stay tuned for next time. If you want to see more examples, come watch my stream tomorrow." When the viewers started laughing in the comments, trying to advertise his channel already, "Seriously, I give up." He continued to steer the conversation in another direction. "All right, next question. Ask whatever you want on the board." And as soon as the question popped up, someone asked immediately, "What exactly is a shard of order?" Seo Jun read the question and answered immediately without thinking, "What's that? I'm not really sure myself." Just like that, he continued the process of reading questions and answering with his sincerity. "What kind of exercise do you do daily?" "I mostly just run." "Why are they curious about this? Why did you choose an assassination game for your first live stream?" "A friend introduced it to me." Hearing that, the audience went wild, wanting more information. "Oh, sounds like a good friend. Who is it?" A while later, a tray of grilled meat was quickly live-streamed for everyone to see. T-Woo listened to Seo Jun's Q&A and immediately winked at the phone. "It's me." Viewers who just found out the truth started digging for more news. "Oh, so Seo Jun is that roommate? That legendary guy. That legendary name." This comment appeared and T-Woo endured the intentional scrutinizing gazes of the three people eating together and trembled as he covered his phone. "Hey, what are you saying?" As if wanting to pour oil on the fire, Noe donated 1,001 along with an old clip. That action made T-Woo scream in fear. "Hey, wait." Before he could do anything, Seo Jun quickly grabbed the phone and opened that clip. Not knowing which stream it was from, T-Woo leisurely opened a conversation with the audience. "Hey guys, want to hear a funny story?" With the title of the old clip in a sudden live stream with only T-Woo's voice, he shared. "So I told you guys I was living with a friend, right? Usually he's pretty normal, but sometimes he does weird things. The other day his phone got a bit dirty, so he took it to scrub with soap. I asked him in shock, 'What are you doing?' He calmly said, 'Isn't it waterproof?' Then he kept scrubbing. I almost fainted. Then yesterday I told him to cool the VR pod with a cooling fan, so he sat there next to the pod and pointed the fan at it. A perfect good kid, no wonder he failed." T-Woo's happy laughter kept echoing in the phone, making Seo Jun glare at him with killing intent without looking away. He gently used his fingers to squeeze the opponent's cheek. "You're the last dish of the night, kid." T-Woo's screaming easily brought a series of laughs to the audience along with Alpaca and Suhan. "It's time to play the victim." A few moments later, T-Woo happily sighed looking at his empty bowl. "That was a delicious meal, I'm stuck." Alpaca couldn't help but speak. "Thanks for the collab today, Seo Jun." He basically didn't show much attitude like the others but nodded lightly in return. "You worked hard too, Alpaca." "I learned a lot thanks to you." That sentence made him shyly wave his hand repeatedly. "Oh, it's nothing, I'm the one who learned a lot." "But hey Seo Jun, are you planning to start a YouTube channel?" This topic appearing just in time made his face light up. "Oh, I am, but I'm still quite an amateur." When Alpaca kindly offered advice, "If you really want to do it, you should find an editor first." Seo-jun's clueless look made him excitedly slam the table. Then he excitedly probed his opponent right on the livestream. "If you want, I can introduce someone I know." Alpaca's happy look made Seo-jun couldn't help but ask straight out, "An acquaintance of yours?" Only when the small apartment returned to silence after the noisy meal. Seo-jun happily popped open a beer can. He quickly took a gulp before sighing happily, so comfortable. Suddenly, a thought flashed, making Seo-jun stop smiling immediately. "Do I really need to do this on YouTube?" His brain quickly brought the owner back to the end of the grilled meat meal. When Alpaca shyly expressed his opinion, "Of course, Seo-jun, your channel will grow even more. The income from that is also quite good, you know. Whether a channel takes off or not mostly depends on the editor's skills. VR games are different from other games, so few editors know how to create highlights." Seo-jun heard that and immediately turned to ask Alpaca's editor, "So why did you become an editor for Alpaca back then, Soo-han?" He heard the question and shared happily right away. "Back then I was just a normal office worker, then I happened to watch Alpaca's stream. I saw he had talent but wouldn't upload videos, leaving the channel to gather dust. So I thought I could revive it and contacted him myself." The relatively short story made T-Woo couldn't help but exclaim, "That must have been back when he was still a nobody, right? You dared to quit your job because of that?" Lee Soo-han didn't hesitate to nod. "Yeah." He slowly looked at Alpaca's happy, foolish expression and cleared his throat to say his inner feelings. "I had a feeling. I knew Alpaca would become famous." Back to reality, Seo-jun looked at the setting sun and started muttering unconsciously, "An editor, huh? If I want to succeed as a streamer, YouTube is mandatory, right? But my goal is to be the livestream champion." In a split second, Seo-jun was lost in his private thoughts. "At first, I just intended to get the capsule and retire. But being a streamer is actually much more fun than I thought. I've started to enjoy the feeling of laughing and meeting people. I still remember the audience teasing me back then. How can someone as lazy as you even play games?" It made Seo-jun feel as happy as a grandfather watching his grandkids play. Kids these days sure know how to enjoy themselves. Then he recalled how the audience would get annoyed and try to hold him back whenever he calmly wandered into the deep pits of the game's plot. Why does everything have to end so easily? Those warm and cheerful moments made him freeze for a few seconds, before sighing and muttering under the warm afternoon sun, "Is it because I'm lonely?" The swaying breeze made Seo-jun feel a lot clearer. "Yeah, probably." Every cherry blossom petal drifting down easily made his mood sink a little heavier. Seo-jun began to remember the old days of his past life. The feeling of recalling a past life is just like having a homeland that you can never return to, no matter how much you miss it. Those thoughts made Seo-jun feel much more clouded than before. "I don't know, maybe I should head to the gym to clear my head." The next morning, at some gym, the thumping sound of boxing gloves echoed through the air. Inside the gym, the trainers were intently watching Seo-jun torture others with his remarkably decisive punches. Every dangerous strike made his opponents break out in a cold sweat, even if they managed to dodge. Yet Seo-jun just casually pulled back his hands and let out a relaxed sigh. That sight made Jae-hook, who was standing on the gym floor looking up, unable to keep himself from getting goosebumps. He's back there to blow off some steam again. It's actually pretty strange, but the kids who get beaten up by him all seem to improve. Seo-jun had suddenly become the physical fitness manager for everyone training in this place. Suddenly Dong-soo appeared out of nowhere and spoke up. "Oh, manager." The 18-year-old kid who had been itching for a sparring match now complained sadly, "How much longer do I have to keep running on this machine?" It made Jae-hook, who was busy observing Seo-jun's strikes, turn around to soothe the kid. "Listen, kid, you've only been here for 2 weeks. To everyone's surprise, Dong-soo groaned about his fate. "I've only been doing basic training and stamina drills, but it doesn't feel like enough." "Manager Nim, I'm a professional, you know." His somewhat dangerous way of speaking made Jae-hook laugh and remind him, "A professional in the virtual world maybe, but this is real life. Hey kid, get real." Seeing that he couldn't convince the other party, Dong-soo started furrowing his brows, calculating everything. "The coach told me to actually train my own body, so at this rate I'll be stuck on this treadmill until next year's tournament, just like a hamster running and running, with no end in sight." That primal fear immediately helped Dong-soo crawl onto the floor and throw a tantrum. "I want to learn real combat techniques, it's so exciting." His rowdiness not only made the others in the gym laugh, he's at it again, but it also made Jae-hook waver. This kid is really. Alright, how about a quick sparring match today? As soon as Dong-soo heard that, his eyes lit up. Sweet. Do I get to choose my own opponent? When he got the casual decree from Jae-hook, suit yourself. While he was happily jumping around in the middle of the gym, awesome! People around started retreating from the scene in a hurry. After all, there was no one here who would let him win. Suddenly, a surprisingly confident voice rang out, making Dong-soo freeze. Bring it on. He slowly turned around, while an indescribable nervousness welled up in his heart. Just as Dong-soo looked up at the person who had called out to him, he immediately went blank. Wait, isn't that the guy from the video yesterday? Min-hyun kept praising his fighting skills, so I watched it to see what the hype was about. Thinking back to that moment, Dong-soo was also very surprised when the guy shoved his phone in his face. Hey, look at this, he's actually insane. He hadn't cared at the time and just yelled angrily, hey buddy, move, you're blocking the screen. But then a sudden realization startled Dong-soo. Even Haein was amazed when she watched it. The series of unusual attitudes from everyone around didn't make him feel very happy. I think it's pretty normal, what's the big deal? But how did a total nobody get in here? Dong-soo watched Seo-jun talking to the manager and felt curious. Is he friends with the manager? Suddenly, he abruptly shifted his gaze away from Jae-hook and looked at Dong-soo, making him jump back in surprise. Dong-soo's classic playing dumb move made Seo-jun look bored. Who should I choose? Feeling the other's gaze fixed on him, he started panicking inside. Oh crap, why is he looking at me all of a sudden? At that very moment, Jae-hook suddenly called Dong-soo over. Dong-soo, have you picked an opponent yet? Right when he got the flustered answer, oh, not yet, not yet. He immediately patted the boy's shoulder hard. Listen carefully, Dong-soo, sparring isn't about knocking out your opponent. For some reason, Jae-hook switched to serious lecture mode. The point is just to test your techniques and improve your skills. Leaving Dong-soo only able to stand there in silence. Why is he looking at me with such a scary gaze all of a sudden? Yet instead of seriously taking in all of Jae-hook's advice, he just frowned and darted his eyes to the side to start inspecting Seo-jun's toned physique. He looks about the same size as me, and looking at him, he doesn't seem to have any muscle at all. This match looks like an easy win. When Jae-hook shook Dong-soo hard, understand, remember, keep it polite, don't get too carried away. Even though he didn't hear a word, he happily replied sincerely, yeah, I got it. So then, before shooting myself in the foot, can I spar with that guy over there? That one-of-a-kind choice left Jae-hook completely stunned. What with him? When Dong-soo replied clearly and articulately, yes, he couldn't help but ignore the students who were babbling nonsense. We want to spar with the god of gaming. To dissuade the other party, Dong-soo, do you want to reconsider? There are plenty of other people who want to fight you. Unexpectedly, Dong-soo didn't care about those people and boldly asked back, is it considered rude to ask for a sparring match the moment we meet? Jae-hook saw the stubborn rookie in front of him refusing to turn back, so he quickly lowered his voice and replied, oh right, that's an extremely rude and thoughtless suggestion. That guy is. Before he could finish his sentence, Seo-jun cleared his throat and greeted, hey, I heard that. You want to spar with me? Dong-soo, who had eagerly made the offer, happily stepped forward immediately. Oh really? I really like you. You're Seo-jun, right? That statement quickly made him confused and wonder, how do you know my name? As he rattled on without giving him a chance to breathe, I watched your stream yesterday. Oh, can I call you Hayoung? Seo-jun felt shyly to himself. This kid reminds me so much of T-woo. Before awkwardly smiling and replying, sure, whatever you want, make yourself at home. Under Dong-soo's impatient urging, so, shall we get on the floor now? Both young players quickly prepared their gear to head to the ring. Dong-soo looked at Seo-jun's calm demeanor and couldn't help but start a conversation. Hey Hayoung. He lowered his gaze and spoke like a naive superior. You're pretty good at games. Of course, you're still not as good as me. Feeling that the other party was trying to provoke his ego, Seo-jun just gently muttered, is that so? But who are you anyway? The naive question made Dong-soo look completely dumbfounded. Hayoung, you really don't know who I am. I'm the one and only god of gaming. You don't know? The strange title made Seo-jun scratch his head in confusion. What is a god of gaming? The other's ignorant look made Dong-soo's dark side flare up. Oh, wait a second. He said he just started playing games. So why does Haein keep making such a big deal out of a nobody like that? Just a split second later, he excitedly smirked. I'll let you know after I win. Do you realize what a great honor it is to spar with me? Hearing that, Seo Jun gently took his stance, preparing for the lopsided battle about to take place. All right, let's go. While Dong Su excitedly stepped lightly as if he were just warming up, no need to be too serious with a beginner. Just keep it polite and take it easy. Seo Jun had already activated his classic sweeping mode to swing his fist at Dong Su's face while the other was still busy laughing to himself in his own delusions. Take it easy. A while later, cold winds started to appear outside. Seo Jun had just finished a sip of banana milk. When Ha Chun spoke up softly, Seo Jun, should you have gone a little easier on that kid earlier? Judging by his physique, he seems like just an ordinary person. Seo Jun heard that and replied calmly, it's fine, Dad. His footwork is quite promising, he's probably just working on his stamina right now. Ha Chun nodded awkwardly, I see. While his brain replayed the image of him and Jai Hook watching Seo Jun knock out Dong Su with a single blow, his soul was miles away. Man, that's a headache. Suddenly, he remembered something and cleared his throat in wonder. By the way, how's your streaming going lately? Seo Jun looked at the blue sky above and couldn't help but sigh and mutter, yeah, everything's still going great. His mature demeanor didn't make Ha Chun feel reassured but rather more confused than before. Well, times are safe now, so I'm not forbidding you like your mother used to. It's hard to be a streamer and get famous, isn't it? I heard from Ti-Woo that it's a real struggle to even get a single viewer. Ha Chun took the chance to recount how he and his wife had a fun chat with him a few days ago. Streaming isn't a job just anyone can do. He even cleared his throat and mimicked his wife so his son could understand the situation at the time. Not even one viewer. Not to mention Seo Jun would feel annoyed with Ti-Woo. That punk, I don't know what he's been blabbing to my parents about. Before he could express his thoughts, Ha Chun excitedly shared, so I was thinking, why don't you try playing Planet Craft? The game that everyone says if you find it familiar, it's time for your annual medical checkup. When Seo Jun raised an eyebrow and expressed his concern, is that still hot, Dad? What kind of game is that? I've never even heard of it. That indifferent attitude made Ha Chun unable to help but yell, you can't call yourself a gamer and not know this game. You have to play games like this to attract viewers. So how many people are in your stream room right now? Seo Jun stood silent for a few seconds before replying, yeah, last time it was about 440 viewers. Ha Chun went stiff at this information. Surprisingly, because he couldn't read his father's emotions, he updated the new status. Today it'll probably be more, I have 3,000 followers already. That made him spit out all his banana milk. That look made Seo Jun fearfully step aside, Dad, keep it down. But Ha Chun didn't care about that and only noticed the more important thing, 3,000 people. 3,000 people. His shrill scream echoed through the air. After that collab on the forum throughout the day, every post easily hit the 30 interaction mark, and nobody was throwing stones at Seo Jun's cognitive abilities anymore. He was lying in bed analyzing those popularity stats, meaning his presence in this community had increased. Suddenly, a notification sound went off, making him curiously check his phone. It turned out Ti-Woo had suddenly forwarded a post to Seo Jun with a message. Isn't this hilarious? Why streamer Shin Seo Jun is a hacker, the standards for so-called cracks are very vague. And besides Seo Jun, there's no other success story. If he's not on the development team, he's definitely a hacker. I'm sure of it. Seo Jun read that trash content and stood silent for a few seconds. Before curling his lip in a sarcastic smile, he silently imagined Ti-Woo's exaggerated laughter and couldn't help but frown and chuckle along. That's reliable, so this is what it feels like to experience this. After the laughter subsided, Seo Jun frowned and handled the matter at hand. First, let's give them a report ticket. But a deep thought suddenly popped up, making him sit up quickly. At this rate, does this mean after only 3 days of broadcasting I have to do a correction live stream? Because of that thought, Seo Jun headed into the VR machine pod. As if stimulated by that article, his mood that day seemed 10,000 times more energetic than usual. How many people will watch today? I don't know how much time had passed, but as soon as Seo Jun announced to the livestream system, I'm in, the live viewer count kept jumping continuously. Meanwhile, in real life, Baemo was losing his mind, slamming his hand on the desk. He shouted angrily, how has the weakness detection skill already been unlocked, huh? That process was designed to take at least a month. It made Kwok Hal wait for the other to lower his voice before jumping in to answer, exactly. In a game with so many things to do, you'd have to be extremely lucky to get it. See, I told you there was a bad omen, and you didn't listen to a single word. Fearing the other would keep poking at him, Beimo yelled angrily, "You punk, what did you just say?" However, Kwok Hal quickly returned to his usual serious demeanor to focus on his work. "Just calm down, do you think I wanted this to be figured out?" Hearing the strange words, Beimo asked in confusion, "Figured out? What the hell are you talking about?" Under the other's confused gaze, Kwok Hal quickly opened his laptop and pushed it toward his grumpy boss. "Watch this." Beimo muttered in confusion when looking at the screen. "What is this?" Kwok Hal's video of him breaking Richard Neville's equipment. Beimo immediately saw the scene of Seo Jun handling it. Of course, the glorious victory he achieved in just a few short seconds was also clearly shown. Everything made Beimo's brain spin. No, how does this even make any sense? Could it be that he hit a bug and accidentally got the weakness detection skill? Hearing that question, Kwok Hal immediately denied it. "We checked that eons ago, no bugs at all." That only made Beimo more agitated. Then what is it? Because of his boss's foolishness, Kwok Hal turned into a detective right away. As a fan of Seo Junnim since that live stream, let me explain. It seems like he figured out the pattern on the very first try. As for the pattern, it's the standard sword trajectory that our team had to grind for months to design. Even an average player wouldn't see through it in their dreams. Yet Seo Junnim saw it instantly and slashed right through it. In short, even from the perspective of a game developer like me, he's 100% not a hacker. Anyone who dares to mess with Seo Jun, consider yourselves at war with me. And oh, he's amazing. Long live Seo Jun. Hundreds of thousands of flowery words that Kwok Hal dedicated to Seo Jun were quickly interrupted by Beimo almost immediately. "Hey you, stop it, now what do we do?" Unexpectedly, he leisurely cleared his throat and pointed. "Do what? I haven't finished praising him yet." The calm demeanor of a superior made Beimo yell angrily. "What do you mean, what do we do? Don't you know that if the fragments are dropped first, we're all screwed? How can you be so relaxed?" While Kwok Hal continued to happily fulfill his duties as a game developer, Beimo carried more responsibilities, so naturally he had more worries than others. Order fragments. That's one of the items we hid to reveal the next game, according to the plan. When the fragments are collected, a short quest chain will be activated. At this point, the player who completes that quest chain will appear before them, and the company's video teaser will be released at that exact moment. It's a very natural communication strategy, but it was calculated extremely carefully by Beimo. However, his perfect plan was ruined bitterly. Just because of one single gamer, that made Beimo want to collapse. But to try to save his aching heart, he still cleared his throat and asked Kwok Hal, "How long is it expected to take for us to finish the trailer for the new game?" As the other replied, 1 month. He frowned and asked further, "What if from today the whole team works overtime like crazy at breakneck speed?" Kwok Hal stood silent for a few seconds before giving a vague answer. "Probably about a week." Beimo nervously rubbed his hands and asked further, "So what are the odds that that streamer will collect all the order fragments in that time?" With overconfidence, Kwok Hal quickly replied in joy without thinking, "I can say that with certainty. 100%, boss." Not only that, he said it with such a confident tone that it made Beimo, who was in despair, lose his mind. In just a split second, he frowned and hissed, You useless, annoying brat," and suddenly yelled so the whole company could hear him, "Get out." After chasing Kwok Hal out of the room, Beimo slumped back in his chair, sighing. But his eyes couldn't help but look forward, where the image of Seo Jun's battle with Richard Neville in the final stage was frozen on his laptop. No way, how is that possible? How did he do that? Attention quickly rose, making Beimo angrily type on his keyboard. But a split second later, he had to stop all his activities. When he himself was dazzled by Seo Jun's sword-fighting skills. Let's be honest, this is pretty. Beimo suddenly pressed the replay button on Seo Jun's battle video, and looked at the increasing view count of the clip, without hesitation to watch it again. The fact that Seo Jun carried an aura of a true swordsman from the past, made Beimo feel so curious that he searched for his name online, only to be drawn into Seo Jun's cool clips while playing the game. Along with the unpredictable, deadly attitude from that young man, Beimo seemed to have been ignited with a new joy, covering his mouth to hide his excited smile. "That's so cool." He happily scrolled and excitedly muttered, "The idea of using soldiers to threaten and capture Richard Neville was my idea. I never expected it to be revealed like this." Suddenly, while he was still in a trance, Beimo realized it was already 3:21 a.m. Oh my, is it that late already? How long has it been since I felt this fulfilled? Watching players enjoy the game he poured his heart into in their own unique way. And then looking at viewers with their mouths agape like, wait, you can play like that too. Watching players enjoy the game he poured his heart into in their own unique way. And then looking at viewers with their mouths agape like, wait, you can play like that too. Those thoughts made him unable to help but smile with satisfaction. Baemo immediately did something he rarely did, which was following Seo Jun online. Almost immediately, his new live part was bossed up with the title, "Thanks for 1,700 followers." When the live session officially started, someone excitedly shouted, "He's on, let's fight guys." A split second later, Seo Jun's handsome, emotionless face appeared before everyone. Hello everyone. A series of comments started scrolling quickly on the system. Hi there. What's with that stream room title? That interesting sight made him feel slightly awkward. As soon as the views increased, the chat speed became dizzying. So that's why I prepared this. Seo Jun sent a private message, and Jom, Aka Chosun's assassin, quickly appeared. Along with him was the patient riding a white horse, and the winter gatekeeper, truly a soulmate. Seeing the three of them online, Seo Jun lowered his voice and took roll call. Are you all here? From now on, these guys will be mods for the chat room. As if just waiting for him to finish, the three of them immediately showed their loyalty. Leave it to me. Jom, the 25 million point hero, will manage this very seriously. God Seo Jun, King Seo Jun, Great Seo Jun is the best. Yes, sir. Yes, I'll do my best. It gave the audience a real laugh to see those notorious trolls acting like this. Yet he still explained very seriously, but these are the people who have been with me since the first day I started broadcasting. When I asked them to be mods, they all happily volunteered right away. The mastermind didn't forget the witty comments from the three mods during the first days of Seo Jun's live stream, but that was okay. Watching a newbie act so cluelessly has its own unique charm. No way, in my opinion, those movements weren't just luck, they were genuinely top tier. Then he vividly recalled the fun chat session that day when he had asked for help from his three fans. Yes, I think I'd be a pretty good mod for the chat channel. Thanks for trusting us? Oh, are you serious? Seo Jun suddenly remembered something and chuckled to himself. Except for that god of a guy, the public restroom tile thief who was still nowhere to be seen and hadn't replied. And these are the rules for my channel, please take a quick look. As soon as Seo Jun tapped a button, the live stream system chimed with a series of new notifications for the viewers. Notification? The room is strictly for chatting about topics related to the live stream. If you spot any toxic behavior, don't argue in the chat, just report it directly to the mods. You already know what you shouldn't be doing, right? The viewers with the fastest reading comprehension quickly responded. In short, just behave yourself, understood. So what does the stream title actually mean? That final question caused Seo Jun to raise an eyebrow and speak up. Oh, about that. It seems quite a few people are skeptical about how I managed to find the weak points. That's my fault. I apologize for not explaining it clearly. It was rare for someone to offer a sincere apology and immediately get teased by viewers without being able to defend himself. Your face doesn't look sorry at all. So how exactly did you find the weak points? Oh, he's back. Forget it, I already took a screenshot. Seo Jun didn't pay attention to those comments and focused on the main issue. I simply connected the lines between similar parts on the equipment to make them easier to slash. I think even if I explained it, people would still say I'm hacking the machine, so I'll just report myself to be safe. His one-of-a-kind announcement sent the viewers into a frenzy. What? You reported yourself? Seo Jun quickly displayed the email he had sent to the game company earlier. I think I might have accidentally used hacks without knowing it. It seems I unknowingly used hacks. Could you please check this for me? This made everyone burst into laughter. What kind of confusing way to do business is this? I'm going crazy. So this is why he's calling himself a self-reporter. Oh, so he's forcing the game company to prove his innocence for him. That's brilliant. Those very cheers made Seo Jun feel unexpectedly proud as he crossed his arms and smiled. Now that I've explained it clearly, right? Unexpectedly, none of the viewers nodded in agreement, but instead continued to unleash their laughter in the chat. Explained what? You're just being slippery. But I have to admit, this move is actually effective. He really is a quiet madman. This is the definition of a true live streaming genius right here. Seeing everyone's excitement, Seo Jun happily clicked into the game system. Then I'll jump right into the game. Today's live stream will be. Suddenly, a waiting screen appeared, making him freeze. Oh, there's a mission offer coming in. Thank you to the creators of the Dawn Assassination Squad. Before Seo Jun's eyes, the company's exclusive system suddenly popped up a notification: use weak point detection on the Lord of Atidius Tower. That notification was also visible to the viewers, making them go wild. A full 1 million, that's insane. But what does the Lord of Atidius Tower even have for you to use weak point detection on? He's not even wearing any equipment, is he? Aren't they talking about magic? Wait, so you can even slash through magic? Knowing this so clearly, is that account actually the official account of the game's creator? Suddenly, someone raised a doubt which made Seo Jun nod in agreement. That's true. He began to slip into his own private thoughts. The first mission with such a huge bonus. It was just unexpected that his train of thought would last longer than any streamer could ever manage. While Seo Jun was being extremely serious about the recent incident, is this really the game creator? The viewers were once again in stitches over his excessive seriousness. Hey, look at this handsome guy. This match is going to be easy. So sweet, so sweet. There's no way that would happen. Why is our streamer so naive? The comments quickly vanished when Seo Jun clicked the button to initiate the spatial transfer. Who knows how much time had passed? Seo Jun had been teleported to a city ruled by the mages of Atidius Tower. The ruler standing at the center, the Lord of Atidius Tower, Duke. Although he always appeared dignified and rational on the outside, he was merciless when it came to conducting human experiments. As soon as he set foot in this gloomy city, Seo Jun started jumping and leaping all over the place. His figure went unnoticed by anyone on the ground, until Seo Jun hopped down, causing a girl to be so startled she nearly jumped out of her skin. Overwhelmed by fear, she lost all her energy and had to cling to the ground to scramble away. I thought you were an assassin. That was a heart-stopping scare. Even after seeing such a comical scene, Seo Jun calmly walked down the street. Alright then, time to go assassinate someone. This left the viewers unsure whether to laugh or cry. Hey monsters, cover your ears. If the monster heard that, it would probably cry in terror. Surviving in the Middle Ages is so hard. Sneaking into Atidius Tower by walking straight through the front gate, this is really captivating. Seo Jun, do you know anything about this Atidius Tower? As soon as he saw this comment, he stopped to think. I'm afraid that if I stream in a too methodical way, it will get boring, so I only looked up the basics. Something like, let's explore the dungeon with Seo Jun. So the old guy replied to his viewers with his own brand of fiery sincerity. Wouldn't it be easier to just climb straight to the top floor? This bluntness left the audience in awe. Are you just going to blindly rush in again today, no matter what? But isn't this Atidius Tower a bit too tough? Seo Jun watched the comments while continuing to walk forward. He gently opened the massive gate blocking his path and muttered, well, let's see how this goes. Seo Jun scanned the vast space inside the tower. Since he didn't know the way, he decided to tail the NPCs. Are those NPCs mages? When he received no answer from the viewers, Seo Jun continued his monologue. They look fewer than I expected. I didn't realize most of them were normal people. Until this very moment, the audience finally joined in the conversation like a bustling marketplace. Mages are rare, you know. The first to third floors are basically just a market. The fourth floor is where the real challenge begins. Seo Jun watched the gate that the mages were passing through, guarded seriously by guards. He saw a few scattered remarks from the commenters. Oh, this newbie is about to pull another silly stunt. Target those guards and clear them out quickly, I'm bored. His analytical mindset from his previous life started to kick in. Since the chat is this quiet, this must be the right path to the fourth floor. If I were going the wrong way, the chat would be flooded with lol by now. Dadian, who was standing guard, saw someone approaching and frowned, threatening. This is a restricted area. He silently tightened his grip on his spear while calculating in his mind. If I just scare them a little, they'll back off. Dadian had just finished his rehearsed line, if you don't have an entrance token, you're not allowed to, when Seo Jun gently slashed at the arm preparing to attack him. That swift, clean action meant he didn't even have time to scream in pain. Before he collapsed, watching Seo Jun walk through that gate with complete confidence. But he hadn't taken many steps when his feet were held back by something. Not only that, it seemed like Seo Jun's face couldn't turn left or right normally either. Everything happened so suddenly that it made him anxious. What's this? I can't move my body. While the tension was building, a disgusting laugh suddenly erupted right behind Seo Jun. Valak appeared gracefully with 2 fireballs in his hands. Too bad for you, intruder. Without another word, he launched the fire toward Seo Jun. The sudden attack left him visibly stunned. At the most dangerous moment, Seo Jun's arm suddenly moved slightly. Seo Jun immediately realized he could move again. So he quickly dodged to the side, leaving the viewers feeling completely impressed. Following that, Seo-jun hurriedly jumped backward to keep his distance. In his mind, he kept calculating, my body isn't bound anymore. On the opposite side, even Valak himself had to nod in acknowledgement. You're lucky. If that's the case, try this on for size. As he spoke, he began to accumulate energy in the air, then flicked his hand forward, pushing this attack straight towards Seo-jun at a speed that tore through the wind. At the same time, Seo-jun activated his weak point detection skill. His eyes became more focused than ever. From all directions, countless attacks entered his perception. At that moment, Seo-jun quickly drew his sword. While an attack was still midair, he nimbly swung his sword, slicing the magical attack in two. Following that, his arm swung like a machine, knocking away all the attacks that intended to close in on him. This reflex left Valak stunned, unable to believe his own eyes. And before he could even process it, Seo-jun leaped forward, finishing him off in the blink of an eye. Looking at Valak's cold body, Seo-jun sighed in relief. This guy was easy enough to handle. But why couldn't I move earlier? A viewer saw that and quickly suggested, someone spoil it for him quick. Seeing that, Seo-jun turned away coldly. Maybe I'll just turn off the stream. The audience, seeing this, hurriedly pulled his sleeve and explained, come on, don't do that, wait a second. Every floor of Aetherius Tower has a debuff. The 4th floor causes temporary paralysis just like before, and the 5th floor will distort your senses, making your left and right orientation all messed up. Just as explained, as soon as Seo-jun went up to the 5th floor, he ran into a few guards. Without any hesitation, his hand tightened around his sword, intending to swing it forward. However, at that very moment, Seo-jun felt something was wrong because his hand didn't seem to be gripping anything at all. This was the effect of the sensory distortion. Taking advantage of this, a guard rushed forward to attack. But Seo-jun reacted very quickly. He regained his senses and swung his sword straight forward, forcing the guard to dodge to the side. A few seconds later, this 5th floor had been cleared. There were no guards left. This left the viewers feeling skeptical. Are you sure this place has a debuff? What kind of adaptation ability does this guy have? I don't know, but even debuffs seem to turn into buffs in his hands. On his end, Seo-jun still kept his cool expression and asked, so what's on the 6th floor? Before waiting for the viewers to answer, Seo-jun's feet stopped, when suddenly a stone wall rose from the ground in front of him. He observed what was in front of him, and at that exact moment the debuff struck. The debuff on this floor is a speed reduction, making Seo-jun's speed as slow as a snail. The viewers felt just as frustrated. This is a speed that no Korean gamer can endure. The 7th floor is night. It steals the sight of the conqueror. Looking into the pitch-black room in front of him, Seo-jun thought to himself, once I pass this, I'll meet the final boss of Aetherius Tower. Without any hesitation, he stepped inside. Sure enough, right after that, the debuff was applied, making Seo-jun unable to see anything at all. The viewers hurriedly commented, is he going to lose his life here? Honestly, this darkness is too buggy. He really can't see anything. How is he going to block that? Ignoring them, Seo-jun continued to think, the layout of this room must be identical to the previous floors. Let me try to reconstruct it in my memory. Thinking about this, he closed his eyes tightly to recall. At the same time, a fireball suddenly appeared in the hand of the 7th floor guardian. Then immediately after, the fireball flew in a Z-shape straight towards Seo-jun. Unfortunately for it, Seo-jun had prepared in advance. He tilted his head to the side, dodging the attack by a hair's breadth. However, the attack still hadn't ended. Right after that, countless stones appeared above his head and rained down on him. Responding, Seo-jun swung his sword like a machine, slicing all the stones to pieces. The viewers, seeing this, almost went insane. He's really crazy. Is this guy even human? Following that, countless giant ice arrows formed in the air. This time, Seo-jun didn't intend to wait for them to attack him, so he proactively jumped straight into the air, swinging his sword to shatter all the attack. The mage girl, seeing this, couldn't help but scream, damn it. Her words couldn't escape Seo-jun's sharp ears. He smiled triumphantly, found you. The mage girl's face turned pale. With no other choice, she could only desperately create more ice arrows to attack. But with his superhuman perception, Seo-jun was still able to dodge without any obstacle. For attacks he couldn't dodge, he simply swung his sword and sliced them apart. At this point, the mage girl seemed to have no way left to deal with the main protagonist. Her heavy breathing echoed in the quiet space. At the very moment when she was about to use a fireball to attack, Seo-jun had already rushed in, grabbing her wrist and saying, Assassins are naturally stronger in the dark. Just like that, he easily took down the guardian of the 7th floor to climb to the next. Phew, I made it through cleanly. The viewers didn't stop donating for his excellent performance. Seo Jun didn't forget to say thank you everyone. But hey, isn't this something everyone can do? The protagonist said it so easily. Very quickly, Seo Jun reached the 8th floor of Aetherius Tower, specifically in front of the office of the tower owner, Beek Sahian. The moment Seo Jun was about to step inside, the viewers told him, "Wait a second." After that, they sent him a link to an article about the secret to defeating the owner of Aetherius Tower. This surprised Seo Jun. There's a secret guide too. Because of those streamers, there's currently a boss hunting trend going on, so I'll share some information about the Aetherius Tower owner with everyone. The battle with the Aetherius Tower owner is divided into 2 phases. In the first phase, he only uses normal magic. It's a bit difficult but still dodgeable. However, the problem lies in the second phase. From this point on, the tower owner will turn on his protective shield. Don't even think about destroying it without throwing high-dosage bombs. Its feature is that it's extremely expensive, and even if you plan to throw bombs until he dies, it won't work because the quantity is limited. Then he also casts continuous lightning, which is incredibly fast, terrifyingly fast. I even had to drag my friend in to act as a lightning rod to take the hits for me. I kept throwing bombs while ignoring my friend taking the damage, but being tough isn't enough to counter the non-stop barrage of lightning. And the shield just keeps popping back up as soon as it's blown away by a bomb. As you all can see, I haven't passed this stage yet, so calling it a secret guide is a bit of a stretch, but I'll share it anyway. I'm going to research another method. After reading the sharing of this kind-hearted brother, Seo Jun fell into a bit of silence. Then he opened his inventory. It was completely empty with only a few worthless pieces of equipment, making the viewers laugh. Haha, he has nothing at all. How does he plan to break that shield now? Seo Jun stroked his chin and muttered, "There must be a way, right? Maybe this is the first time I'll actually lose my life." Seeing this, the viewers started donating to him non-stop and started betting. "Do you want to accept a mission?" The protagonist immediately guessed that those who bet on him losing were pouring money in. The total mission reward had reached 1,230,000 won. However, among the viewers, there was one rational person who shouted, "Don't fall for this idiot's trap. You just got your nose stepped on last time and now you're planning to offer more money again." Unfortunately, this comment was immediately kicked to the curb by the others. Who cares? Just let us watch the streamer get hammered for a bit. Their attitude made Seo Jun break into a smile. In that case, why don't we go pay the master of Aetherius Tower a visit? Very quickly, Seo Jun began his battle with the Aetherius Tower master. He even started moving into the second phase. Just as that kind bro had shared, in the second phase, the Tower Master switched to relentless lightning strikes, forcing Seo Jun to run back and forth to dodge. While dodging, Seo Jun thought to himself, "This is even faster than the top-tier players' God Sword techniques. You can't dodge if you wait until you actually see it. I have to predict it." On the other side, Tower Master Duke said coldly, "Let's see if you can dodge this one." As he spoke, he gathered power in the palm of his hand. Meanwhile, Seo Jun kept calculating the direction. Spells always have a slight delay before they activate. That brief window was more than enough time to observe. He looked at where the master's eyes were aiming and noticed the distinct hand gestures during the incantation. Thanks to his observation, Seo Jun instantly guessed the direction the spell was aimed at. His body slipped like an eel, immediately backing out of the Tower Master's attack range, leaving the viewers in awe. How did he dodge that? That's insane. At this point, that's definitely professional level gameplay, right? Without time to check the comments, Seo Jun remained focused on his fight. "He's cleverly pinning me down so I can't get behind him. He uses his shield to block my direct attacks. And if I try to slip to the side, he uses lightning to force me back to the same spot." Thinking of this, Seo Jun's eyes became sharp with focus. He spotted a strange device in front and speculated, "Is it because of that? I want to try touching it and see what happens." Thinking this, he pulled a short blade from his inventory, then quickly threw it straight forward. The blade flew in a parabola, curving around Duke to head straight for the device behind his back. However, when the weapon collided with the glass casing, it was deflected outward, eventually falling right in front of Duke. This immediately made Duke feel incredibly angry. "Where do you think you're going?" he roared, then followed it up with a rain of lightning striking straight down. Seo Jun just had to run for his life like a duck, calculating his next moves while fleeing. I have a feeling that if I destroy that thing, something will happen, but the shield is in the way, so I can't get close. The viewers seemed to read his thoughts and teased him. Can't handle that shield, huh? You'll definitely have to try again, man. How long are you planning to keep dodging? Seo Jun looked at the system screen in front of him and thought, why does the quest require me not to use the weakness detection skill? Besides, I can't slash through or neutralize that lightning bolt anyway. It's just random, but a normal person wouldn't say that. If so, there must be some sort of mystery here, like an arrangement of stained glass branches overlapping and radiating from an intersection. The point where the small branches overlap is the focal point. It's truly beautiful. As if driven by his instincts, Seo Jun thrust his sword toward where the lightning bolts were converging. Then a blinding flash of light radiated out. The next moment, Seo Jun's sword was covered in an intense blue energy. His gaze became colder than ever, and he swung his sword straight forward. The energy on his sword then shot straight at Tower Master Duke. It collided directly with the energy shield, creating a deafening explosion. However, this burst of power still wasn't strong enough to destroy that energy shield. But at least it kept Duke's attack from unleashing further. The viewers were in awe again. What was that? What did he just do? He didn't use weakness detection, right? There he goes again. He keeps coming up with these tricks only he could think of. Seo Jun swung his sword to attack once more. This time, the glass casing behind Tower Master Duke was completely shattered. The protection device inside began to emit a red light as a warning. Seeing this, the veins on Duke's face popped out. You think breaking that thing is the end of it? Think again. That object is actually just there to purify the infinite mana from Duke Tower, so it's easier for me to absorb. Hearing that, Seo Jun put on an innocent face and said, "You're starting to panic, aren't you? Haha, trying to act all calm, I see. How hilarious." The viewers went along with it. Haha, anyone can see it's over, right? The Tower Master saw Seo Jun's indifferent attitude, and his eyes rolled back in wide-eyed rage. A rain of lightning began to descend on the protagonist's position, while he gathered all his strength to dash straight forward. His sword was once again covered in lightning power, just as I guessed. That is the core. At this moment, the distance between Seo Jun and Duke was only a few steps away. Duke sneered, even a small fry like you is going to use that obvious trick. The next moment, Seo Jun attacked. But at that exact same time, Duke used his teleportation ability and appeared right behind him. Haha, if you even forget about teleportation, you're still way too green, kid. He laughed heartily, not knowing that the sword in Seo Jun's hand had already skewered him. The system immediately sent a notification: Tower Master Etherius Duke has been defeated. Rare reward, order item 3-4. All the viewers at this moment could hardly believe their eyes. What? Did he just read the teleportation location too? Seo Jun smiled at this point. The prize for this quest belongs to me. At the same time, in another place, a voice rang out. He finally took down the Etherius Tower Master. Next time, he'll definitely collect all the order fragments, just you watch. Team Leader Kim, is there any way we can get in touch with that streamer?